Oaklawn Park in Hot Springs, Arkansas. This is America's Day at the Races, brought to you in part by America's Best Racing. For the love of the race, visit americasbestracing.net today. Alongside Maggie Wolfendale, I'm Lafitte Pinkai, and welcome to the shortest pregame show in the history of short pregame shows, because we are right on top of post time for the first race at Sam Houston Race Park. Maggie, great to be on set with you, A. You have 60 seconds to handicap, B. And the first race, by the way, is off the turf and the favorite's out.
Yeah, so I have nothing to say here. I was interested in Champagne Affair on the turf, but she still has the credentials to win this one here. She's 5-1 on the board, Lafitte.
Nick Tamero with the call, first of 9, live from Sam Houston.
The lone MTO in the field. Frosty Flirt and Jose Alvarez step in. Paul Stutz grabs the button. We're all set. And they're on their way at Sam Houston. Good start on the inside for Simple Pleasure. Champagne Affair was out well. So too Aura. And on the outside, Frosty Flirt has speed in the run to the first turn. Champagne Affair are going to try and protect that inside spot. Aura, as well, is now bidding for the lead. On the outside, Frosty Flirt races in third. Then down to the inside, Simple Pleasure. Unburnt is tugging away at Rye Eichelberry and advances now into fourth. Leather and Lace is on the outside, racing in fifth, just passing Simple Pleasure. Back of the pack, we have My Winter Rose and Shirley's Temple. The opening quarter, 23.94 seconds. Aura has made the lead, leads by a neck. Just on the outside of Champagne Affair, past the 5/8 pole. Frosty Flirt spies those two from a cozy spot on the outside in third. Then Unburnt, covered up on the inside, but still a little headstrong. On the outside comes Leather and Lace in fifth, about 2.5 lengths off the lead. They move past the half-mile pole with Simple Pleasure at the rail in sixth. My Winter Rose between rivals in seventh, and Shirley's Temple trails the field. They've completed just over half the journey in 48.83 seconds. Champagne Affair and Aura continue to do battle on the front end. Unburnt, the parking brake's been released there, and here comes Unburnt on the outside, looking to target those top two. Farther back, Frosty Flirt loses ground. Shirley's Temple taking the scenic route. Up the inside, Simple Pleasure, Leather and Lace, and My Winter Rose. Top of the stretch. Champagne Affair has dismissed Aura, but will now have to deal with Unburnt. Up the inside, a late bid from Simple Pleasure. The outside, Shirley's Temple. Champagne Affair trying to see it out into the final furlong. Leads by a length. Unburnt getting closer on the outside. Champagne Affair, heavy drive, getting out into the middle of the track. Unburnt now going to have to angle in, but can't get by Champagne Affair, who wins it in the opener. Unburnt settled for second. Simple Pleasure was third. Photo fourth. Aura or My Winter Rose.
About half the size of Unburnt, but quick enough. Champagne Affair holds on in the opener at Sam Houston.
We'll see if they uphold this finish, Lafitte, as we did see Champagne Affair drifting, albeit under right-handed urging. We'll see. We need to see a head-on there. Slight step into the path of Unburnt right at the 16th pole, but still does win by 3/4 of a length. Unburnt, the MTO, she loomed large, but the speed of Champagne Affair wins here.
Leading rider, Rye Eichelberry, going to work Unburnt. Did you feel like she ever lost momentum? It looked like that felt more like race riding than interfering.
Two, like I said, Carlos Montalvo kept his stick, or his crop, excuse me, in his right hand. So at least that bodes well for him, maybe not the horse.
Good call, Nick Tamero. I like that call, releasing the parking brake. That was good.
He is good. I've liked watching all these replays from Sam Houston, and Nick's calling this year has been superb. The only knock against Nick is he's good friends with Andy Sterling. So.
And there's always that. And then there's that. Street cred through the basement. See, maybe you like that winner in the opener at Sam Houston. Like maybe you didn't play because you didn't have a Naira Bets account. For shame. Play all the action on our program and more while earning up to a $200 deposit match bonus. It's easy. New members just sign up with promo code STAKES200, make your first deposit, and earn up to a $200 deposit match bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Join now at NairaBets.com to earn that $200 deposit match. Fire up that account. You can play this fifth race Oaklawn. Maggie, good eye. Inquiry in the first race, Sam Houston.
Yeah, look, I like Champagne Affair, but she did look as though she drifted. We will keep you updated, but they're getting close to post time here for the fifth.
What do you think? $25,000, $12,500 claimer.
6-5 on Abdan. Yes, she does look as though she could be speed here, and I But I do think she's a need the lead type, and now she has to break from the outside. I do like the fact that Ricardo Santana sticks here, second off the claim for trainer Alan Milligan, and she does come out of a live race, or he, excuse me. Starter allowance, Latin Casino ran back and ran well, and Ernie Banker came back in the starter allowance to post an 83 buyer, but he didn't do much running, and like I said, maybe it was the wet track, maybe he does need the lead. There isn't that much other confirmed speed in here other than the 3 Violent Pass. I was a little bit interested in Holiday Ticket first off the claim, though Diodoro's numbers not the strongest this year first off that claim.
But right now, that barn on fire.
Yeah.
Robertino Diodoro. 5th race, live, Oaklawn. Vic Stauffer standing by. It's post time.
They're at the post. They're off. Hard to Park hopped in the air at the start. Abdan and Road Bible break well. Holiday Tickets at the rail. Then Fun and Funny, unembellished on the move. Violent Pass, hard ridden. Then Wise Kozan and the Bad Start has Hard to Park at the back of the pack. It is Abdan up the backstretch, and he's in the 2-path and leads by a length from Violent Pass in second. Road Bible and Unembellished are together third and fourth, and about 2 from the front-running favorite, Abdan. Holiday Ticket is 5th with 5 lengths to make up. He's 2 in front of Fun and Funny and Wise Kozan. Hard to Park is the trailer, and Abdan is still the leader. Abdan around the far turn, a length and a half in front of Road Bible, who is now clearly second. Violent Pass is right there with a chance at the rail in third. Unembellished pushed along a bit now. He's 3 from the front. He's 3.5 in front of Holiday Ticket. Abdan still the one to catch. Abdan at the top of the stretch. He leads Road Bible by now a length and a half. Holiday Ticket is moving in the center, but Abdan comes to mid-stretch, and now he leads by 2.5 lengths. Violent Pass is running a good one down at the rail with Road Bible to the outside, but Abdan is clear, and it looks like he's got it. Abdan all the way to the wire to win. Abdan won by 2. Road Bible was second. Violent Pass third. Fun and Funny finished 4th.
Figuring it out. Abdan now won 2 of his last 3. Ricardo Santana. Abdan in the 5th at Oaklawn, 7-5 at post time.
One thing you can always count on with Ricardo Santana, if he's on a horse that needs a lead or has speed, he's never going to take that away from them. We saw Abdan break alertly. Bad start for one of the long shots at number 2 in here, who jumped up significantly at the break, but it was all over when Abdan got his gray head in front of the rest and turned them all back.
They're all running for Cabrera. Road Bible outrunning his odds to complete the exacta, but no match for Abdan. Late, Ricardo Santana. 3rd in the standings behind David Cabrera. More on that later in the show. Also, last year's Kentucky Derby, Belmont, Travers winning trainer has reloaded. Brad Cox, Zozos, Cyberknife. Names you need to know approaching Derby, but first, that filly runs today. Icy Stare Down, 2-1 morning line favorite in the Thursday feature at Oaklawn, just getting started on America's Day at the Races.
This proven son of A.P. Indy has sired over 50 stakes winners and well over 100 stakes horses. Recent top performers include Search Results, winner of the Grade 1 Acorn Stakes and a hard-fought second in the Kentucky Oaks, plus these standout performers. In the auction ring, his progeny continued to command top dollar. 2-year-olds by Flatter sold up to $625,000. Flatter, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Oaklawn Park in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Can you believe it? Just 9 days until the biggest day of the meet, Arkansas Derby Saturday. We'll be there, and so will she. Secret Oath, the filly, to tackle the boys in Oaklawn signature race. Meantime, why not try and pad that Arkansas Derby bankroll? 5 races left on the Thursday card. Good feature race, the 8th, Icy Stare Down, 2-to-1 morning line favorite in a $100,000 sprint for 3-year-old fillies. Now she's trained by 2-time and defending Eclipse Award winner Brad Cox. His go-to guy is in the saddle, Florent Giroux, officially last year's Kentucky Derby winning jockey and trainer. Also live action from Sam Houston Race Park. The opener is in the books as we kick off a brand new week of racing on America's Day at the Races. Great to have you with us on Fox Sports 2. Oaklawn Park, that's right. 9 days till the Arkansas Derby. Signature event, key prep for the Kentucky Derby. Different part of the calendar, 5 weeks out instead of its traditional 3 weeks out from the Derby. And that paddock, it's always special. You know, it's a big race and the weather's good when you see the horses saddled there. We'll be seeing that for the Arkansas Derby and the Fantasy, Maggie. We have plenty of time to drill down on Arkansas Derby and the Fantasy. As for today's feature race, the 8th, this $100,000 sprint for 3-year-old fillies, why should our viewers be excited about seeing Icy Stare Down today?
Well, Icy Stare Down, you know, I think she was one that was slightly compromised last time. It was a field that looked loaded on paper with speed. Now, the winner did come back, Lady Scarlet, to take down our Cicada here. She's in the yellow and black silks. Icy Stare Down looked locked and loaded, sitting behind the 3-horse Pastel early on here. And then kind of when she switched out, she really didn't have much left in the tank, Lafitte, but that was her first start off a bit of a break here, and she has every reason to move forward. We'll see. There does look to be more speed in here as well, but I think she could be more forwardly placed in this effort here. So I think a lot of the horses that do emerge out of that February 26th effort are flattered, which by Lady Scarlet, which does include Parlance in here. So Parlance, I thought, ran well off the bench too.
Things don't work out for Icy Stare Down and Brad Cox. He also has Come On Sweet Love in the featured event at Oaklawn Park, where we have a Hall of Famer on site, Gary Stevens. What can you tell us about Come On Sweet Love? Again, Brad Cox, that strong 1-2 punch going in the feature at Oaklawn.
Yeah, this filly, she broke her maiden in November, came back in December, ran in the L'Atelier Stakes at Fairgrounds, where she ran a very good second to a filly, Come On Sweet, a girl with the dream, that came back and won her next race. She was never going to get by the winner in here. She got herself in great position coming into the stretch, looked like a winner when she had come into the stretch, but that link margin continued. We got a little bit shorter stretch here at Oaklawn Park than what they have at the Fairgrounds, and she needed that extra distance maybe to get the job done that day. She came back, raced in another race at Fairgrounds where they ran 2 seconds faster that day than what they ran the L'Atelier Stakes. They ran 108.4, and the filly that was second in there, Pipeline Girl, we'll be seeing her for Tom Amos coming from Fairgrounds as well, guys, going for that $106,000 whopping purse in the 8th today.
Good race, 3-year-old fillies, Gary. Icy Stare Down, Come On Sweet Love, talented 3-year-old fillies. That's coming up. Brad Cox to unleash another one on Saturday. Turn her loose in the Fairgrounds Oaks. Today's races brought to you by Claiborne Farm. As promised, remainder of the Oaklawn program. Late pick 4 gets started in the 6th race. That's next. And Sam Houston Race Park, again, off the turf on the main track. Main track listed as fast. You just saw the opener. 5 left on the broadcast. 9 total this evening from Sam Houston Race Course. So maybe you just tuned in. Maybe you feel like playing a few races, don't have past performances. Equibase has you covered. Follow all along and get all these stats on the horses, trainers, and jockeys in today's races with free Equibase past performances. Visit NYRA.com/TV schedule to download your free past performances and all the races on today's show. Get back to Oaklawn, Maggie. We just saw race number 5, top of the stretch. Ricardo Santana all in with Abdan. Abdan responds to register a second lifetime win.
Yeah, back on a fast track here, second off the claim for trainer Alan Milligan, and this guy aggressively handled, cut in half, and dropped back down to the claiming tag, in which he broke his maiden at by 7 3/4 lengths, and he looked good in doing it here, Lafitte. This is a horse that he looks as though he needs a lead. He got it today. Ricardo Santana third in those riding standings after just dominating the Oaklawn Park meet for so many years.
8-time riding champ at Oaklawn, Ricardo Santana. But right now it's the jockey that finished in second, who's the current leader, David Cabrera. This time, Santana gets the victory. Abdan 7-5 at post time in the 5th at Oaklawn Park. Maggie, race number 6 with $40,000 claimers, non-winners 3 lifetime, mile and a 16th. There's the field. What a Country, 9-5 drawn inside. What'd you come up with?
He's the one, What a Country, that's just been facing better horses. I was hoping for 6-1. I'm not going to get it because I thought some others would take some more attention here, including Prioritization and Dr. Jack. But you look, if this guy still wants to do it, then he gets the ultimate class relief here, because he's been facing horses just so much better. I mean, you look through Happy American, Lone Rock, Sonneman, just the list goes on and on after classy rival after classy rival, and he's just not facing that class today as he drops in for the tag for the first time.
Big overlay here in Alex June, who is 5-2 on the morning line, currently 13-1, and trained by Lindsay Schultz. This is a really good story. You follow Oaklawn long enough and you recognize that the trainers that do most of the winning, Steve Asmussen, Brad Cox, Robertino Diodoro, this is a young place for a young trainer to have success. Enter Lindsay Schultz, who this winter at Oaklawn Park has been doing exactly what she's always wanted to do, exactly the way she wants to do it, on her own.
I always wanted to train myself, especially since I've worked longer at the track and been an assistant, and I know how hard I work and how hard trainers work, and that never scared me off, and it was always something that I thrived on. And I always wanted to also own my own business. Both of those things made it something that was appealing to me and something that I wanted to do.
Lindsay Schultz's foundation to becoming a trainer runs deep. She grew up riding hunters and jumpers in Connecticut and got her first job mucking stalls before becoming a teen.
Honestly, I didn't really watch much racing until I went to college. It took me a little while to get into it, but once I did, I didn't stop.
She chose the University of Louisville not because it's located in the heart of racing, but to ride on its equestrian team, and most importantly for the school's equine studies at the College of Business.
So that was kind of one of the things that drew me to Louisville, because a lot of the other equine programs don't have a business program to back them up. I try to be logical, and it made sense to learn the business side of it.
After graduating from Louisville, Schultz learned the game globally through a 2-year internship at Darley's Flying Start Management Training Program. The past decade, she worked as a longtime assistant to Tom Proctor, managed Glen Hill Farm in Florida before going to work for Shug McGahee. Then in November of 2021, Schultz finally felt it was time to go out on her own.
It was really important to me to really understand every part of the business, especially since I didn't grow up in it. I don't have parents in it. I wasn't born on a horse.
Schultz's euphoric moment happened in just her 7th career start. The appropriately named Capture the Glory took charge in the stretch.
Capture the Glory is still strong, and this is going to give trainer Lindsay Schultz her first career victory. Capture the Glory indeed. Congratulations go to trainer Lindsay Schultz for her first training victory.
There's definitely horses that we can build on, and it's exciting to kind of get started and get the ball rolling.
With that kind of education and experience, that ball could be rolling very quickly. The momentum for Lindsay Schultz moving on. Maggie having managing Glen Hill Farm, working underneath Tom Proctor, Shug McGahee, and then the decision to go out on your own. Can you lend perspective to how much responsibility she's taking on?
Well, Well, too, for the fact that she didn't grow up in the game. We see so many trainers that, come from a long lineage of training families or ownership. And so the fact that she had to kind of get her feet wet in all different areas lend itself well for her going out on her own. And I must say, she is a graduate of the Darley Flying Start, or Godolphin Flying Start program. And so many of its graduates just commend the program for the fact that it combines 10 years of experience into 2, and you get that global edge. And she's done everything the right way, working for a Hall of Famer in Shug McGahee, and also supported by Marshall Graham of 10 Strike Racing, where we see him support a lot of young trainers, including Michelle Giangiulio here in New York.
10 Strike owns Alex June, and we'll see if she can make our producer, Terrence Theege, look real smart and get this win right on cue in this upcoming 6th race at Oaklawn Park. But overlaid, again, Alex June, 5-2 on the morning line currently. That price has come down. No, it hasn't. I'm looking at Sam Houston, Maggie.
That's okay. We only have
now our
one
viewers
TV.
are looking at Sam Houston. Race number 2. Field and updated odds. Take out Papa Molly. And a post parade. I stand Warrior. 1 for 24. His one victory about 5 months after Justify captured the 2018 Triple Crown.
And his biggest problem, Lafitte, is he doesn't want to switch leads. I mean, you get that extra propulsion forward when you switch to your outside lead, and he doesn't want to do it.
Smart call. 2-turn main track races. That's where he's been most effective of late.
Yeah, he's getting back out to a 2-turn mile, but he's going to have to refine some form from 2 years ago.
Pickle Snapper, number 4. Put it all together in his 15th start last December, but hasn't raced since.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems to be tough for these horses to graduate from the maiden win, and plus he hasn't run away race fast enough to be considered a winner here.
Gold Bear, 45 morning line favorite, 8-5 with leading rider, Wright Eckleberry.
Carl Broberg has great numbers first off the claim, broke their maiden last time out. He is 28%, 9 for 32.
Veterans Holiday off form, probably better on grass, but he is dropping in class.
But last time we saw him on the dirt, granted it was a 9-2 for 25, beaten 30.5 lengths.
Field for the second, Sam Houston. Little will go a long way in this one. Post time in about 5 minutes. You saw the heavy favorite Gold Bear, originally purchased for $225,000. Like, all right, so all high draft picks don't always pan out. It happens. Let's go back to his last start. Last Wednesday right here, Gold Bear 4-5. Come and catch me if you can, Maggie, and they couldn't.
No. Interesting rule there where you don't have to, usually in other racing jurisdictions, if you pick up a horse, you're in proverbial jail for 30 days, where you have to usually raise in claiming tag. And he just ran last week, as you pointed out, for $7,500, and he's in for 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really sure of the rules at Sam Houston, but I guess this is A-okay.
What'd you come up with here? A strong opinion? One way
I
or
have
the
no
other?
strong opinion here. I thought the stats, as I mentioned, with your favorite were telling. This is a horse who consistently, before his last start, had faced better fields, obviously. Did look as though he was a little bit more talented, and this is, splitting hairs on the turf. But look, he makes a lot of sense here. He won quite easily in his last start and just has the right connections in his corner. But as far as horses dropping in class, that would be the 6 Veterans Holiday, who was taking all the early money. But he is 1 for 17, and his dirt form, well, that leaves little to be desired.
All 1 for something, $5,000 claimers, non-winners to lifetime, 4 minutes to post. And a heads up, don't forget, the Naira Bet Saturday contest is back. Show off your handicapping skills in this $300 online live money contest on Saturdays, featuring racing from Aqueduct. Win cash prizes and seats in the next week's $300 contest. Registration ends at 5 p.m. today. Visit naira.com/contest to learn more. Aqueduct Saturday contest. Second race here, Sam Houston, 4 minutes out for someone who, go ahead.
I would love to see Lane Luzzy be aggressive with the inside horse, Stan Warrior.
Stan Warrior.
Of the 3 logicals, you're getting the best price on him. And at this level, he has proven that he can win. But he's had to do it from off the pace recently. And I just think, with a horse that has trouble accelerating and running through the wire, that putting him on the lead is probably the best option, especially from the rail post.
Often you see this with horses that have those types of records. They qualify for the non-winners to lifetime. A horse that's lost 23 of 24. Okay, so they are best suited when they make the lead, but they're not that fast leaving the starting gate. So it becomes that much trickier.
Well,
And he has to catch the right field where you're the quickest of a slow group of horses leaving the starting gate.
Yeah, and that's the truth. Gold Bear probably will be aggressively handled. As you said, Rye Eichelberry is the leading rider, and you don't become leading rider for a lack of aggression in your riding. And so I would think that Gold Bear is probably the fastest. But if Lane wants to make the best of his mount in here, in the one is Stan Warrior, then I say take advantage of your inside post position.
3-1, I stand Warrior. Gold Bear, as you mentioned, yeah, those connections win. Leading owner, End Zone Athletics. Second leading trainer, Carl Broberg. Leading rider, as you mentioned, Eichelberry. So the human element intact, and part of the reason Gold Bear is even money here at post time. I was disappointed the races were off the turf today.
And they did
Did
this
it rain?
20
I didn't see any
minutes.
rain.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't. Is the turf course in poor condition? It doesn't look like it's in poor condition. I don't know. That's completely thrown me off my game. And as you said in a break, they just don't want us to have any turf racing here on the show.
It's been a while since I've seen a turf race.
Yeah.
Been a while.
Well, you were down in Tampa, though.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah. You got a little turf action.
Fun
there.
weekend. We got to see, yeah.
Yeah.
Chad Brown winning all those stakes races. Tampa Bay Derby Day, always a fun afternoon of racing. And here at Sam Houston, their Thursday card, where they are at the gate for race number 2, still showing 2 minutes to post. Gold Bear, 3 to 5. Later on the show, we'll be looking ahead to some of the weekend stakes activity. And, of course, with the Arkansas Derby just 9 days out, and what an exciting story that'll be. Secret Oath taking on the boys for trainer D. Wayne Lucas. Maggie will be there. I'll be there with Gary Stevens, and a final prep for the Kentucky Derby in a completely different scenario with the change. By the way, riders up there, Oaklawn, in terms of the calendar. Arkansas Derby now 5 weeks out from the Derby instead of 3.
And this kind of fell in line with them starting their meet earlier. You know, this was Oaklawn was a meet that never got started before the first of the year. And this year, they started a whole month earlier, beginning in December. So they kind of had to readjust their entire stake schedule to kind of make that work. And as modern racing comes into play, it seems as though trainers want more time with their horses in the barns rather than on the racetrack. So I think they were catering a little bit to the trainers that don't necessarily want to run their horses 3 weeks out from the Derby. They want more time with them.
You remember when the Florida Derby was moved to 5 weeks out, which was considered absolute no man's land. You had to go back to the 30s to find the last Derby winner who won the Derby off of a 35-day, in quotes, layoff. So it wouldn't work because you couldn't possibly run in the Florida Derby. Florida Derby horses used to go from there to the Bluegrass or the Wood. Now there's not enough time. You're not going to come back for the you're going to have to go straight into the Kentucky Derby, like no man's land. And then here comes Michael Matz with Barbaro, runs in the Holy Bull, skips the Fountain of Youth. What's he doing? Runs him in the Florida Derby, bang. 5 weeks later, he wins the Kentucky Derby. Then comes Big Brown. Then comes Orb. Then comes Nyquist. Then comes Always Dreaming. Maximum Security did cross the wire in front before being disqualified. So this 35-day gap, this 5-week window has been absolute gold producing Derby winners. And now you have 2 options, Florida Derby, Arkansas Derby.
And how many winners have we seen from the Arkansas Derby win the Kentucky Derby?
Smarty Jones, 2004. Very productive over the last 15. Oh, yeah, him.
Yeah.
They're off at Sam Houston. Stumble.
Very badly at the start. Smart Call has speed. Gold Bear setting off towards the early lead. Istan Warrior trying to show some foot from the inside as well. They're making their way into the first turn. Istan Warrior and Smart Call together. Gold Bear perched just outside those two from third. It's then 2 lengths back to Pickle Snapper at the inside, and Veterans Holiday, after that clumsy beginning, has settled in last. They move past the 3/4 pole after an opening quarter in 23.98 seconds, and Smart Call has cleared. Smart Call leads the field into the backstretch by about 2.5 lengths. Angling out now, Istan Warrior from second. Gold Bear is third. It's 2 back to Veterans Holiday from there. Pickle Snapper has fallen back to last. It's about 8 lengths from front to back as the field makes their way down the back stretch. Smart Call has extended the lead, now in front by 4 past the half-mile pole. Istan Warrior is asked to go. Gold Bear still patiently handled by Rye Eichelberry. Veterans Holiday trying to make up ground. Pickle Snapper still trails into the far turn. The opening half, 48.16 seconds. Gold Bear is coming after the leader, Smart Call now. Smart Call still got a 2.5 length head start, but here comes Gold Bear into second. Veterans Holiday gathering momentum, should soon be in third. Losing ground the inside, Istan Warrior. Nothing from Pickle Snapper. They're past the quarter pole and at the top of the stretch. Smart Call soon to be confronted by Gold Bear. Gold Bear pops off the inside, coming after Smart Call into the final furlong. Smart Call trying to fend that one off. Gold Bear breezes on by and grabs command with just over 100 yards to go. Gold Bear pressing clear late. Then comes Smart Call and Istan Warrior. It took Gold Bear a year to win his first race and 8 days to win his second. Gold Bear wins. Smart Call second, then Istan Warrior, Veterans Holiday, and Pickle Snapper.
Switch has been thrown, Gold Bear. As Nick Tamero said, that long drought finally broke through, and now make it back-to-back in just over a week.
The proverbial light bulb has gone off with Gold Bear. Good-looking horse, too, son of Pioneer of the Nile. I remember when he was running around these parts in New York last year. And, you know, good on Carly Hughes with number 3, Smart Call. She was doing what I'd hoped Lane Lizzie didn't do, and that was be aggressive. And look, Gold Bear was much the horse to beat, and she finished second with a horse that didn't figure necessarily on paper, at least based on his last few efforts.
Brutal start, Veterans Holiday from the outside. Pad your stats, Gold Bear, Team End Zone Athletics, Carl Broberg, Rye, Eichelberry, Oaklawn, meantime. Race number 6, $40,000 claimer here, non-winners 3 lifetime. Mile and a 16th. We start the post parade with what a country struggle of late, like off the board in 9 straight, but drops in class.
Yeah, and he was wired last time by Runnin' Ray. Caddo River came back to win with a 92. The 6-horse Defender came back with an 85. This guy's just meeting much lesser company than what he has as of late.
Dr. Jack, leading rider, David Cabrera rides for the first time.
A horse that he just hasn't lived up to his potential, I feel like.
Okay. Last Martini, overmatched in his first pair this year. Class drop should help. 20-1, number 4, Alex June. Everybody pulling for Lindsay Schultz now, unless you wagered on another.
And let me tell you, Lafitte, our stats for showing a feature for a trainer or jockey before a race are like 75%. So,
karma.
Lindsay, you're in our corner.
How's that going for? Number 5, Big Thorn, quick Florida bred. Anticipated pace setter.
Yeah, exactly. Good to see him on his toes as he does go first off the claim for trainer Tim Martin.
Prioritization, 2-1 morning line favorite, now 8-5, both career wins at this mile and a 16th distance.
Probably was well against it the way that the race unfolded, chasing wide the whole way, but he didn't have much of a response, but again, facing lesser here.
Indiana bred altered, John Kenton Court takes over.
Yeah, stretches back out in distance. His last 2 efforts, and he's been shipping all over the country, haven't been great, and even his best efforts don't make him a real player here.
So who's it going to be? 6th race, Oaklawn, late pick 4 starts here. You saw prioritization, high riding Francisco Arrieta aboard, Maggie. We touched on the jockey standings, top of the show. Typically it's all Ricardo Santana, 8-time Oaklawn champion rider. Not so fast. David Cabrera with 46 wins, Francisco Arrieta not far behind.
You know, but Ricardo is only 8 wins behind. There's still a good chunk of time left. And, you know, kind of talking, I was talking with Rob Atras, trainer Rob Atras, here the other day, and he has a few horses out there. And he was saying that, you know, since Ricardo Santana and Steve Asmussen have kind of gone separate ways, a lot of other trainers are like, oh, now you need us to Ricardo Santana. But you watch Ricardo Santana ride here, and on the racetrack, he still probably is the best jock.
Won the 5th race, Ricardo Santana, Gary Stevens. Lot of racing left, but a fun story to keep an eye on.
Yeah, it really is. And I'll tell you what, Ricardo, you're right. He's not going to go away quietly. He's had an outstanding meet for not riding for Steve Asmussen as usual, like he normally does. But David Cabrera leading the standings right now. Arrieta on his heels. Cabrera already with a win on the card today. Also, Santana has a win on today. Giovanni Franco, another win today. But these 3 guys have sort of separated themselves from the crowd. It's going to be interesting to see how these agents play things out for the continuation of this meet with the start of Keeneland coming out. Listen, you don't get any special award other than bragging rights for being leading rider. These purses are huge here. They're even bigger at Keeneland. So these guys are going to be leaving a little bit to ride a horse here and there when the Keeneland meet starts up. So it's going to be fun to watch it play out. In this race prioritization, I think he's got a little bit of an edge over Dr. Jack because he's going to have first run, or Dr. Jack is going to have first run on prioritization, the way I see it lining up. And I'll be honest with you guys, what a country. He's been training lights out, like Maggie had said earlier, taking a huge drop in class today, but also Dr. Jack and prioritization, they're both taking significant drops in class as well. Those are the 3 in this race. It's going to be a good one, guys.
Giovanni Franco's agent doing a bang-up job there, by the way.
And Tiago Pereira.
And Tiago Pereira. They have a horse
You
that
know
paid
what?
like $100 and something the other day?
Yeah.
Something crazy?
You know what the thing that Gary Stevens and Tiago Pereira have in common?
What's
I'm sure
that?
you do because you're Mr. Fact himself.
I fake it pretty good. What?
Both Dubai World Cup winners.
That's right.
Yeah.
People forget, a Dubai World Cup winner. Tiago's, he's won some good rider. He's won some big races. And Gary with he and Giovanni Franco in this very deep riding colony at Oaklawn. As you look at prioritization, Francisco Arrieta. Let's revisit prioritization's most recent victory. Right here, January 7, 2 starts back, Maggie. Prioritization in front, in charge, and having his mettle tested.
Look, like I said, I think last time he was completely taken out of his element last time in that allowance race. Now he's back in for a claiming tag. He has not seen a claiming tag since he was claimed out of his debut by Scott Becker. And you're right, he did have, as you said, his medal taken, but by Leading West, who, yes, came back to win, but won a 16 claimer. So it's kind of, how good was that field overall, that starter allowance? Look, other than I question his overall class, he's definitely run fast enough races to win this. And like you mentioned, he is probably at a tactical advantage over a horse like the Inside Runner in What a Country.
Prioritization, having to work, like, I don't know, maybe too hard, came up flat in his subsequent race. So does that bug you at all? What are you expecting today? Is 7-5 too much to concede?
I just think he was taken out of his element too much in that last race and against tougher foes. Yes, is he a horse that, I mean, he's been he was a beat. Oh no, every time he's favored, he does win. So that is a feather in his cap. When he makes sense on paper, he usually delivers. And I was just most interested in What a Country. And I'm kind of hoping that he and Dr. Jack kind of hook up here. And we often do see paces develop at Oaklawn Park, where sometimes in other jurisdictions they do not. And Gary alluded to the fact that Dr. Jack is probably the fastest here, but there's also Big Thorn in the mix too, number 5. So it looks as though there's enough speed on paper to possibly set things up favorably for number 1, What a Country.
Is Dr. Jack over bet? He has Steve Asmussen in his corner. David Cabrera, leading rider. Human Element intact, 2-1. Strong second choice to prioritization. I
mean, go back to last year, and he was running against Mandaloun and Essential Quality. So,
oh yeah, them.
He's made some pretty good horses throughout his career. I was always under the impression, and this is a horse that I've seen from his 2 Saratoga starts, that lesser ground would be optimal for him. I don't know what ground's been optimal for him. He did win his lone sprint start, which was his debut. So there is that. I'm just wondering, I know Pedigree wouldn't say that, Pioneer of the Nile out at AP Indy Mare, but I'm wondering if this guy isn't better suited to a little less ground, Lafitte.
Yeah, that would work against him in this one. This mile and a 16th affair. Dr. Jack, second choice. Prioritization, the favorite. The overlay, Alex June for 10 strike. And Lindsay Schultz here at Oaklawn Park with Martin Garcia aboard. It is post time for the 6th, kicking off the late pick 4. Big Stoffer standing by.
The last horse to load is named Altered. They're at the post. They're off. Good start for Big Thorn, who goes to the front from a prioritization. What a Country is close up. He's alongside Dr. Jack. Altered away in 5th, then Alex June, and the early trailer is Last Martini. At the clubhouse turn, it is Big Thorn, and he sets a sensible pace from Prioritization, who races in 2nd, and now comes to put some pressure on. Here's Prioritization to turn up the heat on Big Thorn to the backstretch. Those 2 are now 3.5 clear of What a Country. Dr. Jack between horses and a 3-wide Altered. 3.5 back to Alex June, and then Last Martini is 10 lengths last as they head up the backstretch, and the leader is Still Big Thorn. Big Thorn, 3/4 of a length from Prioritization, who is right alongside in second. Now 2 lengths to What a Country and Dr. Jack. They eyeball each other and the front runners. 2.5 to Altered. Alex June is closer now. He's about 6 from the front. Still 7 lengths last to Last Martini. They leave the backstretch, and the leader is still Big Thorn with Prioritization right alongside in second. Prioritization is about to make his move for the lead. Alex June is running up outside of Dr. Jack. And Alex June just ran right by Dr. Jack. Dr. Jack is backing out. What a Country is next, top of the stretch. It is Prioritization and Big Thorn, but you better take a look at Alex June, who has run up to take over a half a head lead. Prioritization is a second. Then comes Big Thorn and Dr. Jack, but Alex June comes to mid-stretch, and now he leads by a full length and a half. Prioritization and Big Thorn are battling second and third, but Alex June is clear, and he's got it. Alex June in front. Alex June won by 2.5. Prioritization was second. Big Thorn third. Dr. Jack finished fourth.
Right on cue. Victory number 2. Trainer Lindsay Schultz, Alex June at a big price. 7-1 at post time from Off the Pace, Maggie.
Huge overlay with this horse, and I really need to run numbers on it, Lafitte. I need to go back and watch every single one of our shows in which we run a feature, because whenever I'm up here, whenever I'm in the paddock, it seems like they just win.
Now we're going to see that Tom Morley feature before every Morley
I'm getting
runner.
the camera crew to the barn. We are making like 5 more features, and we can run one every single time.
Every runner.
That's great.
Lindsay Schultz, something to celebrate here for 10 Strike Racing. Alex June. Prioritization was draped on the leader, Big Thorn, engaging him. And from Off the Pace, you could see Alex June finding his best ride, gathering momentum, put the leaders away. Crop uncocked. Martin Garcia for trainer Lindsay Schultz. Another win there here at Oaklawn Park, or second, like she's done it 1,000 times. Had Alex June primed and ready to roll. This afternoon results when we come back. And like, how much damage is he capable of? Life is Good dismantled North America's Horse of the Year in the Pegasus World Cup. So what's next? The Dubai World Cup. And anything short of victory would be a big, big surprise / disappointment. That's next.
Good Magic's in front. Good Magic pulls away from Solomini. Good Magic's gonna win his first race, and he's gonna do it in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Good Magic to the front of the field in the Toyota Bluegrass to win it. The champ is back. Good Magic in a good-looking performance.
800,000, 75, 875, 8.5. Pete, 775,000. Thank you.
Magic's in front. Who you betting on? How about an app created specifically for horse racing? Naira Bets. We specialize in thundering hooves, fist pumping, and boosting your bankroll with robust weekly promotions. And offer betting tips from actual horse racing experts. Bet all day and night, nationwide. Get the action and thrill of horse racing with Naira Bets. Meydan Racecourse Saturday. The best horses in the world face off in the $12 million Group 1 Dubai World Cup. Watch and play the Dubai World Cup Saturday, live on FS2, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
This season at Oaklawn, we've got more of everything. More of the top thoroughbreds in the world. More days of live racing. And the largest purses in our history. All at a completely reimagined Oaklawn. Come be a part of this historic season at Arkansas's only casino resort.
Silver Charm is now the danger in second. Here comes Malik in third place. On the outside in fourth is Swain. Then picking them up is Lucevage. Down the straight they come, and it's Barron, Silver Charm, and Malik. These are the three at the head of affairs. Picking them up all the far side is Lucevage. Here comes Swain this side. Silver Charm goes for gold. It's Silver Charm from Lucevage from France on the far side. Barron's back in third. Malik is in fourth, and it's Lucevage on the far side. He's beaten at the moment. It's Lucevage, Silver Charm, Malik in third. On the outside it's Swain, but it's Lucevage, but Silver Charm comes again. This is incredible. Swain is flying. Swain might beat the favorite. What a finishing prospect. Silver Charm and Swain. It's a photo. It's a great photo finish to the Dubai World Cup.
Never let Swain by. Not at the wire, not on the gallop out. Silver Charm, Gary Stevens in the third Dubai World Cup at Nad Al Sheba. The Kentucky Derby winner, Preakness winner, refusing to lose. Gary, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you watch that race again, when you hear that call?
A fighter, just a true fighter, and that was the top of his game. He loved to scrap it out with another horse through the stretch. You know, I celebrated a little bit when I hit the finish line, like, did I win that? When I came back and saw it on the big screen, and thankfully he did. But I felt like we had America riding behind us. It truly is an international race. It's only grown with time, but at that time it was the biggest race and still is the biggest race in the world as far as prestige goes. And I rode a champion in there. He was the Derby winner, the first time that a Derby winner had gone on, represented the United States. So just a little extra bang for our buck. It was for the right owners, and Bob and Beverly Lewis, my favorite owners of all time. I got to tell you that Silver Charm, he's my best friend in the world. Probably my favorite horse of all time. He was a real character, or still is a character. He's at old friends in Kentucky. I get to go out and see him every spring, so I'm looking forward to getting back there next month and spend a little time with my buddy Silver Charm. But it was sure a thrill, Lafitte.
Gary, love seeing those pictures of you with Silver Charm now. Silver Charm, sadly, yesterday we lost Grindstone, the 96 Derby winner. He was the oldest living Kentucky Derby winner. Now it's Silver Charm, the oldest living Derby winner at the age of 28. Maggie, and Silver Charm, part of that fraternity. American winners of the Dubai World Cup. Like, that is obscene. Obscene.
It is. Cigar obviously winning the inaugural Dubai World Cup. And how about Gary with the Frankie Dettori flying dismount? I had forgotten all about that. That was impressive. I wonder if Gary could still do that today. But yes, the American contingency this year, again, well represented, obviously, with Life is Good. And no complications with the rail draw. Speed,
none
go.
whatsoever. Yeah, come and catch me if you can. The field for the 26th running of the $12 million Dubai World Cup, 11 deep, about a mile and a quarter. 4 Americans, Country Grammar, Hot Rod Charlie, Midnight Bourbon, and this guy. Life is Good, as Maggie mentioned, will draw from the rail. Overwhelming favorite, Maggie. Last seen, like, vaporizing the horse of the year, Knicks Go, in the Pegasus World Cup.
And I was surprised because Knicks Go had that inside rail position. They didn't necessarily go with him. It was more so that Life is Good was just that much quicker. And Arad Ortiz taking no prisoners whatsoever. You would have to think that the same tactics will be employed again. We'll see what they do with Midnight Bourbon. He wasn't on the pace like he usually was. Hot Rod Charlie isn't slow either. And neither is Country Grammar, who was second off the layoff and ran a huge race in the Saudi Cup last time out.
Every time I turn on my TV in my hotel room, it says Life's Good. Life's Good. Why couldn't he be like 20-1 play the hunch play? Along with stablemate Colonel Liam, Life is Good arrived in Dubai last week. Top-ranked thoroughbred in North America. Like, who knows what he would have done in last year's Triple Crown had he been healthy. That's all behind us. And now a monster 4-year-old. There he is, Life is Good, feeling good on the track at Meydan Race Cars. But first things first, Todd Pletcher, like, how did he handle that long shift?
He's handled the shipping extremely well. He's settled right in. He's galloped beautifully over the track since he's been here. He's handled the walk from the quarantine facilities to the main track without any problems. So, you know, all those little things that you're concerned about as a trainer, he seemed to have handled perfectly. I think he's a very gifted horse. He's as talented as any that we've had our hands on. So, you know, he's answered every question so far. The only thing he has not had the opportunity to do yet is run 10 furlongs, which we're very optimistic that he'll handle feel that. You know, the Into Mischiefs have been staying. He's had a Derby winner with Authentic. He's out of a, Distorted Humor mare. There's plenty of stamina there. This is certainly a race that's at the top of our list that we haven't won that we would love to win. So we're excited about the opportunity.
Todd Pletcher seeking a first win in the Dubai World Cup. I don't know, Todd. Life is good looks pretty wiped out from that trip to me, Maggie.
Being very facetious, Lafitte. As you see, Amelia Green, his regular exercise rider / Todd's assistant, she has the draw reins on him. And it's so funny, if you follow Amelia on Twitter, she has emojis for both Life is Good and Liam's, Colonel Liam. And his is quite obviously and apparently the gorilla emoji, because he looks like an absolute gorilla on the racetrack, moving beautifully. And we'll see. Yes, as Todd pointed out, the challenge is the 1.25 miles.
The 1.25 miles. No such thing as a sure thing in thoroughbred racing. What do you think is the biggest potential pitfall, or what obstacle does Life is Good have to overcome in order to win this $12 million Dubai World Cup?
Obviously, the other obstacle is the 10 other runners in here, including a lot of those American runners that do have that early speed. Are they as fast as him early? Probably not. As Todd Pletcher has said, maybe his first step isn't the quickest, but his second, third, and fourth steps are utterly, jaw-droppingly quick. And Todd has trained greats. I mean, prolific stallions that are in their second careers. And he has kind of put this guy, if you read between the lines with Todd Pletcher, he has put this guy in that upper echelon of just top-level horse. He thinks this is one of the best horses that he's ever trained.
As good as they've ever had in terms of brilliance. Life is Good. You'll have a chance to see him right here on Saturday morning. Fox Sports 2, presented by Run Happy, 26 Dubai World Cup, and so much more. Like multi-million-dollar horse races after multi-million-dollar horse races. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern from Meydan Racecourse. What will Life is Good do this time? Can't wait to see it. Remember what Arrowgate did from the rail in the Dubai World Cup?
Yeah, he blew the brake.
He blew the brake, and one of the most memorable moments in, I don't know, my recollection in thoroughbred history. Hopefully, we'll see if Life is Good, how he breaks. Heavy favorite for the Dubai World Cup. You watch it right here with us from Meydan. Meantime, how about Lindsey Schultz? Another victory here. Alex June, 5-2 morning line, 7-1 at post time.
This was an impressive victory, and Martin Garcia sticking to his guns. Alex June looked as though he was under a ride from about the 5/16 pole home, and he prevailed against a pace that ultimately held together. Big Thorn throwing it down with prioritization, just laying off his flank. So Alex June ran a huge race to get the win at an upset and paying $16.20.
The Virginia bred, just like Secretariat, right? Right on cue. Lindsey Schultz. Alex June at 7-1 in the 6th race, Oaklawn Park. And when we return, John Ortiz, trainer, preparing for his Arkansas Derby debut with Barber Road. He's been so close, second in the Smarty Jones, second in the Southwest, third in the Rebel. So how does he break through? Change in strategy, perhaps? Stay tuned. You're watching America's Day at the Races.
Introducing a stallion, as top class as they come. In 22 career starts, he won or placed in 12 graded stakes, competing in 15 grade ones, earning over $1.7 million. His undisputed speed is evidenced by 7 100-plus buyer speed figures, a 3-time grade 1 winner, Raging Bull.
You're watching America's Day at the Races. As always, brought to you in part by Claiborne Farm. 100 years, doing the usual, unusually well. Just sit there and stare at that the rest of the show, Maggie.
Yeah, and make me wish I was there.
So cool.
No, it's great.
Striking images from Claiborne Farm. And here at Sam Houston, off the turf, and I blame Maggie.
I blame you.
Blame going around as usual on the set. $25,000 claimers, non-winners for lifetime. Main track is fast and an odds-on favorite. Kokomo, 4-5 now.
Lafitte.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm just so frustrated that they're off the turf because I found all these interesting horses to like in these turf races. Lemon Kick. I mean, his turf races are way better than many of the horses in here, but not today. He's going to be on the dirt once again.
So,
but as far Kokomo, makes a lot of sense. I mean, you go two back in not the same condition, but the 25 non-3 life, and he wins. I really don't have any problems with him being the even money favorite. I couldn't really get excited about anybody else on the main track other than maybe the one Lemon Kick who has been running against better. I mean, this is the weakest race, maybe sans going back to Fairgrounds when his last win on the dirt was. But it's a week. So that last time he was in a condition like this, he won. So you know what? Let's stick with my guns. I liked him on the turf. Whoa, we just took a huge pop.
See?
What?
The Maggie influence. Did we run a feature on Jaime Castellanos while I wasn't looking?
I guess so. Yeah, no, I'll take Lemon Kick here, but certainly have no problems with the favorite in here.
It works out beautifully for him. Like struggled on grass here, like after a win on dirt, off the turf on the main track. All adds up to a heavy favorite here in the third race. Sam Houston, Nick Tamro standing by with the live call. Third race, live, Sam Houston Race Park.
Kokomo now steps in. Fifth and last to load will be Pepperjack. Pepperjack and Jose Alvarez step in. All set. And they're on their way. Need a Better Jock tapped on for speed right out of the gate and moving towards the lead on the outside. Pepperjack has some early speed as well. They've left their other three just behind them. On the outside, Kokomo moves up to be third. Uncle Artie between horses is fourth. And down at the inside, Lemon Kick trails the field as they make their way into that bend. Need a Better Jock clears the field and leads them into the clubhouse turn. He's got it by about a length and a half. On the inside, Lemon Kick. On the outside, Pepperjack. Kokomo has advanced on the outside into fourth, is just 2 lengths off the lead. They're very tightly packed into the backstretch. And the trailer is Uncle Artie. The opening quarter, 24.14 seconds. It's an easy lead for Need a Better Jock, who's in front by a length and a half. Pepperjack tracks from second on the outside, past the 5/8 pole. Down at the inside, Lemon Kick tugging away from third. Kokomo is on the outside in fourth. The trailer is Uncle Artie as the field moves down the backstretch. Need a Better Jock? The jock lets it out a notch to hold that lead by about a half a length. Pepperjack still tracks on the outside. Hands moving faster on Kokomo, who's 3 wide. Lemon Kick still rides the paint. Uncle Artie trails the field around the far turn. The opening half, 49.22 seconds. Need a Better Jock stepping out. Leads it by a length and a half now. Need a Better Jock around the far turn. Kokomo on the outside in pursuit. Nothing more for Pepperjack. On the inside, Lemon Kick. The trailer, Uncle Artie. Top of the stretch. It's been Need a Better Jock since the start, and he turns for home in front by a length and a half. Kokomo is issuing a serious challenge down the center of the track. Lemon Kick up the inside. The outside, Uncle Artie. On the lead, still Need a Better Jock trying to see it out. Kokomo coming after him. They're just inside the 16th pole. It's still Need a Better Jock. Kokomo final try. Need a Better Jock all the way. Kokomo was second. Uncle Artie third. Lemon Kick fourth. Pepperjack fifth.
I was thinking, like, if I was a jock, like, I wouldn't ride that horse on principle alone.
Yeah,
like, but I can be petty like that.
Like Lane Leslie, poor guy's ridden him his last 2 starts. but he makes good on it today. Aggressive handling with this horse stretching back out in distance, and I think that made all the difference as Kokomo made a run of it, made it close, but Need a Better Jock, he just had the shortest way around there.
Need a Better Jock apparently does not. Lane Luzzy. And right there, the favorite on the outside, Kokomo, trying to reel him in, but Need a Better Jock digging, clawing his way to the wire, and a 4th lifetime victory here. Just to hold on, 4-6-2. Can we see in the truck what price Need a Better Jock was at post time?
Nope, can't even
A
see it
resounding
on the
no.
dirty feed.
Like no. Like a blank no.
I can't imagine he was close to morning line. He had to be much
No.
shorter with the given dirt form.
Yelling at me like it's a post parade at Oaklawn, man. On the track for the 7th of
Cracking
9 Oaklawn Park. And this 7th race, $20,000 maiden claimer, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and older, 3/4 of a mile dash. Good size field. Scratch number 9, 11 of them. Tepid favorite towards the outside, Milana. 3-1, Need a Better Jock. 3-1 at post time.
Yeah, so what, he was second choice? Or third choice, excuse me. So, yeah, not getting that good of a price over the even money favorite, though. So that, it's always good.
Yeah, it works. Results forthcoming. Sam Houston. They'll make the turn. We'll kick off the post parade for this 7th race, Oaklawn Park. Sounds like we're stretching. It's because we are.
The long walk back.
All set. Out for a run. John Geraldo is riding like an Eclipse Award apprentice finalist, a journeyman as of last week.
Yeah, I lost the bug here with the Steve Asmussen trainee. She takes a big drop from maiden special weight to the maiden 20. Actually has some decent pedigree, but she did no running first time out.
More into bad news. First time started by 2-time Sword Dance winner Flitscher.
Although Flitscher has better percentages with his dirt runners, albeit going long, this one on the bottom side's better turf too.
Rio Lady, non-factor in her debut last month.
And I don't know how she's a factor again here.
21-1. Simply Beguiled, first of 2 for trainer John Ortiz.
You know, this guy or gal made a bit of a middle move last time, so I get the turn back in distance. First time she's sprinted since her debut.
Undecoded, first after the claim, Jimmy DeVito, blinkers on, just missed in her latest.
Yeah, she had to work hard to get to the lead from that outside post last time and lost a lot of ground on that first turn. Kind of like the turn back with her.
This filly's all right. G-Money Liv, who showed more speed in her 3-year-old debut. She's improved.
She looks quick. I remember her debuting at Saratoga, and look for her to be on the lead again.
Planetary, number 7, Oaklawn debut, now in Federico Villafranco's stable.
Oh, she wasn't doing much in Laurel and Charlestown. I don't know how she makes any noise here.
Fashionable Quick, number 8, cheap as she's run for, off the board in her first 3 races.
Yeah, she's still going to have to run faster, though. We'll see if that slight class drop as G-Money Liv beat her last time.
Briar Thicket out, Baja Fog in, blinkers off. Elvin Gonzalez, her 5th rider in as many races.
Turn back makes sense, Lafitte. She got very headstrong down the backside last time. So, again, another turn back that I think works.
Milana, first after claim. Trainer Tim Dixon, David Cabrera should have her close early.
Yeah, she's going to have to run for it, though, from the outside post position to get it over G-Money Liv.
She was the morning line favorite. Psychologist, 2nd and 2 for John Ortiz. First race like on a fast racetrack.
Right. Debut came at Delaware on an open, muddy surface. Always willing to forgive a horse for their debut. Since then, she's primarily run on synthetic at Presque Isle Downs. John Ortiz, though, while he's having an excellent meet, first after the trainer switch with maidens, he's only 2 for 25.
But those are the numbers he's putting up. John Ortiz, Maggie, at 22 wins at a 22% strike rate, 4th in the standings. Talented trainer running a talented stable. Gary Stevens, big meet, John Ortiz, and it could get much bigger a week from Saturday. Barber Road in the Arkansas Derby.
Yeah, Barber Road, he's been knocking on the door, and I heard you say something about strategy. I wouldn't change a lot. This horse, he's got a late running style. He's got an extra 1/16 of a mile in the Arkansas Derby coming out of that Rebel Stakes. The Rebel was not run all that fast, numbers-wise. I wouldn't pay too much attention to that. That day of the Rebel, that track was changing throughout the day. It was faster early on than it was late in the day. We got that deluge of rain late. It was cold. So This horse hasn't missed a beat since the Rebel. He's been training well. He's out on the racetrack every morning. Everything is status quo with him. He worked out on March 19th, 48-1. That's an average work for him. That's what he normally goes out and does. Notice that before the Rebel, he worked him 5 days out. So I would expect him to work on Sunday or Monday at the latest before the Arkansas Derby, guys. Psychologist, I don't know if he's spelled with a C. I don't know if he's got near as much talent as Barbara Road does, but Barbara Road absolutely has a ton of talent, guys.
Yeah, Gary, like I'm not questioning trainer John Ortiz, but okay, so maybe I'm questioning John Ortiz a little bit. He's talking about wanting Barbara Road closer to the pace in the Arkansas Derby. Barbara Road hasn't been winning, but he's been running really well. Second in the Smarty Jones, second in the Southwest, flying late to finish third in the Rebel, a whisker from finishing second. I guess that's my question. What do you think about changing strategy at this point with Barbara Road for the Arkansas Derby, especially with the added distance?
At this juncture, I don't know if it's a great idea or not. I know if I was the rider of Barbara Road, I wouldn't want those given rules or given orders going out to ride the horse that he needs to be like closer to the pace. He's got a talented jockey in Ray Luz Gutierrez. He's a great field rider. He's improving all the time, but he's won some big races. Turn him loose. Let him ride his race. If he lays closer because the pace is slower, that's fine. But I don't expect a slow pace in the Arkansas Derby. There's some speed in there. Baffert sent him one in that's got some speed. So I wouldn't go changing the style too much with that extra half a furlong, guys.
That's been a great story this year. The ascent of jockey Raylo Gutierrez, Barbara Road, almost enough points to qualify for the Derby already. 18 points, 12th in the standings. A fourth-place finish in the Arkansas Derby should be enough. Of course, Maggie Ortiz hoping for a much better finish than a fourth-place finish. Barbara Road in the Arkansas Derby.
Yeah, for me, he's going to have to run the best race of his life to win this Arkansas Derby. And he could. I don't love the fact that we watched that breeze right there, and he never went past his workmate on the gallop out. His workmate is an 0-for-2 maiden who hasn't even hit the board in 2 career starts yet. For me, Barbara Road, maybe he's not the best workhorse, and he does work decent times in the morning, but he just lacks a little bit of that killer instinct. And, you know, this is going to be, of the 3 preps, by far the deepest field.
And the big story, the filly. And we'll have live coverage of the Grade 1 Arkansas Derby April 2nd on FS1. Barbara Road, yeah, good story. So is that filly. Can Secret Oath, can she do it? Can she beat the boys in Oaklawn Signature Race? We'll find out a week from Saturday, Grade 1, $1.25 million Arkansas Derby on Fox Sports 1. It's a story we can't get enough of. Maggie, always so intriguing, and maybe that's because anybody can connect to it. The girls running with the boys, and when we think back to Rags to Riches in the Belmont, Rachel Alexandra in the Preakness Zenyatta Breeders' Cup Classic, Secret Oath for trainer Dwayne Lucas, who in 1984, like Michael Jordan had not made his NBA debut, all right? Michael, the year Lucas won the Arkansas Derby with a filly by the name of Althea. Incredible.
And how about his Kentucky Derby win with Winning Colors?
Oh, yeah, her.
Yeah.
With our Hall of Famer on side, Gary Stevens.
Yeah,
He's
first
done
Derby
this before.
Yeah, you think about the terrific fillies and mares that Wayne Lucas has trained over the years. The list goes on, and I've just been, you know, it's a kind of renaissance, if you will. We haven't necessarily seen Wayne. I mean, I think the last, and she was more of a precocious type, was Take Charge Brandy, who won the juvenile fillies, Breeders' Cup juvenile fillies a couple years ago, or several years ago, I should say. But it almost feels like a kind of renaissance that he has such a talented filly. And with, yes, Echo Zulu is going to run this Saturday in the Fairgrounds Oaks, but she's got a little late start, Lafitte.
Yeah.
So as of now, until she runs, Secret Oath has been the most impressive 3-year-old filly.
Sensational this year. Take it on the boys, Arkansas Derby, Fox Sports 1 a week from Saturday. Wayne Lucas, your Maryland girl, you'll appreciate this. I mean, when he won his first Preakness, 1980, every sports metaphor in Maryland has to come back to Cal Ripken Jr., right? Like the Iron Man. Cal Ripken Jr. had not made his major league debut when Wayne Lucas won his first Preakness Stakes with Codex. It's just incredible.
That's crazy.
In sports, we make a big deal out of someone, maybe a coach, Dick Vermeil, appearing in 2 Super Bowls 19 years apart. Early 80s, Dean Wayne Lucas. It's 2022, and we're still watching him thrive at the highest level. Another shot with some very good 3-year-olds, Ethereal Road going to the Bluegrass.
He's just amazing, and still gets on the pony, which I just bow down in his greatness that he is. And as we've said many times, he is somebody who changed the game. He made it, I don't want to say into the super trainer echelon, but, by delegating and having different strings, took advantage of having horses in different parts of the country so they wouldn't have to run against each other. So you could have a big group of the top level horses in your barn.
Good problems to have. Revolutionize the game. Wayne off the plane. Really looking forward to seeing Secret Oath take on the boys, the Arkansas Derby week from Saturday. Nearing the gate here, 7th race, Oaklawn. Maggie, final thoughts. Wide open. Milana still the tepid choice towards the outside at 7-2.
She makes sense. She really does. Although Tim Dixon not putting up the greatest numbers, at least of this season, but she is taking a lot of money. So I think that is meaningful. Psychologist, we'll see what she does. The field that she's coming out of, although they were maiden special weights, fairly comparable as far as numbers are concerned to what she meets here in this maiden 20. So I think people copped on to that, and that's why we don't see her taking quite as much money as one would have thought. But like I said, I do like the turn back here with, who was it? Oh, gosh. With Undecoded, first off the claim for Jimmy DeVito.
Undecoded. Blinkers on this afternoon for DeVito. Strong contention outside. We touched on the rider standings. Milana, David Cabrera, leading rider. Psychologist, Ricardo Santana, 8-time Oaklawn champion jockey. Live mounts to close the day. Races 7, 8, and 9. Post time for the 7th. Here's Vic Stauffer.
Last to load will be Psychologist. They're off. Fast start for Milana, who goes to the front from G Money Live, Fashionably Quick, and Undecoded. To the outside, Psychologist, then comes out for a run, and Rio Lady. Next is Baja Fog, followed by Planetary, and at the back of the pack is Born Into Bad News and Simply Beguiled. Milana crosses and clears into the far turn. She's got a 2-length lead on G Money Live in second. It's another 2 lengths to Undecoded in third. Then Fashionably Quick out for a run at the rail. Planetary follows her and moves up a spot at the fence. Then comes to the far outside and Rio Lady. 2 lengths further back to Simply Beguiled, and the trailer is Born Into Bad News, and the leader is Milana, and she's doing it well. Milana at the top of the stretch, a 3-length lead on Undecoded and G Money Live. 2.5 to out for a run. In the center comes G Money Live, and they come to the final furlong, and Milana has the lead. Stretch runners are coming, and from the back of the pack, Baja Fog's got a chance. So does Simply Beguiled, and so does Rio Lady. Milana is gasping. Here comes Simply Beguiled. Here comes Rio Lady. These two are going to go by. Simply Beguiled or Rio Lady. Simply Beguiled. Simply Beguiled beat Rio Lady. It is very close for third between Baja Fog and Milana.
The other John Ortiz trainee, Simply Beguiled, 7-1 at post time, graduates in her 9th career start. Maggie.
I knew one of these turnbacks would get it. I just had the wrong one. Simply Beguiled, Kylie Jordan, well-timed ride, and the 3 Rio Lady, the other Jimmy DeVito horse in here, running on well late. Milana just could not sustain that run, and it got close in the end, but Simply Beguiled, turning back in distance for John Ortiz, does get the win, and we should see a decent exacted payoff here, Lafitte.
4-3, looks like 10-11. I thought Milana was gone top of the stretch.
Yeah, me too.
Hit a wall.
Yep, little bit of distance challenged, I'd say.
Came up small late, did Milana, and Simply Beguiled, taking full advantage against 7-1 by the former Belmont winner Palace Malice, met mile winner Palace Malice. Simply Beguiled at Oaklawn. Results when we come back. Also, how much do you know about star jockey Florent Giroux? Where did his love of riding come from? How did he get so adept to riding on dirt? The stars he's ridden, the Kentucky Derby he won 10 months after the Kentucky Derby. That's next.
Run Happy, the #1 second crop sire by graded stakes winners and earnings. Run Happy is represented by Smile Happy, the Kentucky Derby individual future pool favorite. A leading dirt sire and now with an exciting Kentucky Derby hopeful. Call Bernie Sams now and book your mare to Eclipse Champion Run Happy right now. Run Happy standing in stall 1 at Claiborne Farm.
Who you betting on? How about an app created specifically for horse racing? Naira Bets. We specialize in thundering hooves, fist pumping, and boosting your bankroll with robust weekly promotions. And offer betting tips from actual horse racing experts. Bet all day and night, nationwide. Get the action and thrill of horse racing with Naira Bets.
If you're looking into racing partnerships, you should know they're not all the same. When you partner with Bond Racing Stables, you become a member of a growing family of racing enthusiasts, all guided by 3 generations of experience in thoroughbred breeding, training, and racing. Share in the excitement at Saratoga and Belmont Park, where we've graced a winner's circle with winners like Giacosa, who was bred, born, and raised here at our Song Hill Farm. Get more than just a partnership. Become a member of the Bond Racing family. 3 generations of thoroughbred excellence.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. Use promo code TRYRTN for a 5-day free trial.
Great to have you with us on America's Day at the Races. As always, brought to you in part by Hillendale, Atalapa. Thursday action continuing. 7th race, Oaklawn. Milana strikes the front. Breathing fire, where's the wire? Not going to find it. Simply Beguiled, though, Maggie, finding her best stride, accelerating late to graduate in her 9th career start.
You know, and a good heady ride by apprentice, 7-pound apprentice Kylie Jordan, whom saved all the ground, tipped out, and produced this filly to hold off. But
for her trouble, look at that.
Really naughty of Simply Beguiled, as she honestly was probably just trying to go home, as that is the gap there to go back to the stable area.
Like
Kylie with
done.
the nice flying dismount, you know, landing kind of like a long jumper. But thankfully, they're reunited on their way back to the winner's circle.
I don't need a winner's circle picture. I know what I did. Says Simply Beguiled.
I need my food.
Kylie Jordan, like an ejection seat.
I know, and look, this filly does wear one of those, I believe, I think they're titanium hoods for horses that are a little bit of the nervous type, so you can see, and I know, I'm pretty sure one of Johnny's other nice horses wears it too.
Hearing a lot about those lately.
Yeah, like that 2-lane Trist, who finished 2nd, I believe, in the Whitmore the other day for Cherie DeVoe, wears one. They're great. They really do work. I think I need to get one for my pony, Xandar, as well. Yeah.
He's a little nuts.
No kidding.
I always worry about you on Xandar. He's a little nuts.
He's like that as a racehorse, so I guess I should have known what I was getting myself into.
Simply Beguiled, coast to coast thoroughbreds, winning owner. Congrats. Winning trainer John Ortiz, 7-1 at post time, 1680. Kylie Jordan, Simply Beguiled. We were wide open going in. You mentioned what the exacta and trifecta would pay. 7-1, over 27-1, over 14-1.
Yeah, it was that kind of race, Lafitte. You said it, wide open. We did not see the tepid favorite, be able to sustain her run in Milana, and it was ripe for the picking for those closers.
Up next, featured event, very good sprint, 3-year-old fillies, Maggie. We touched on Brad Cox's strong 1-2 punch at the top of the show, Icy Stare Down, and Come On Sweet Love. See if Brad Cox, one of those 2 fillies, can come through, take down the winner's share of this $106,000 purse. Featured event, 8th race, Oaklawn. Icy Stare Down will be ridden by star jockey Florent Giroux. Could be another big weekend for Giroux. What else is new? Riding Turner Loose in the Fairgrounds Oaks and Zozos in the $1 million Louisiana Derby. Florent Giroux, one of the best riders in North America, a long way from where it all started.
Florent Geroux grew up in France. His father was a jockey and trainer. He was the leading apprentice in France before coming to America to ride at age 21.
Just thought I know I was capable of doing it, and I just felt like, you know, here in America, if you work hard and you give 110%, people are definitely going to give you a chance, you know. That's why I came here, and you know, I work hard, and it pays off, and it's a team effort too, you know. I'm not the only one, you know. I'm working, you know, beside, you know, with my agent dog and all the trainers and the owner who support us, you know. So it's a team effort.
Geroux first needed to learn America's dirt racing. He credits his winners in Chicago when he first came to the United States, when he learned the intricacies of riding the main track.
It all depends on what kind of horses they give you, but like you said, you know, at first they give me a lot of like good horses. They were on turf. But I used to ride over the winter, you know, at Hawthorne, and in Chicago during the winter time, there's no turf racing. So I think staying there a few winters really helped me a lot, you know, to get definitely a riding style to dirt racing. And I think from there, just a snowball effect, and when you ride good horses, it makes you look good.
Geroux is shined brightest on one of racing's biggest stages in the Breeders' Cup. Florent has won 7 Breeders' Cup races.
Work all week, and Florent Geroux has done it! They beat Sequence Circle in the Breeders' Cup Sprint!
In 2017 and 2018, Geroux's horses won a combined $37 million.
Monomoy Girl digs down deep, and she was dazzling in the Oaks.
Geroux rode Gunrunner to 6 Grade 1 wins.
Gunrunner wins the Whitney!
Including that 2017 Classic.
Gunrunner's on top of the world! He wins the Breeders' Cup Classic!
It's horse racing, you know, keeps you very humble. So you win one, next day, you know, you need to get right back to work. So there's never really no time to celebrate or time off.
Geroux has also won America's most famous race, the Kentucky Derby. Under unusual circumstances, 296 days after the 2021 Kentucky Derby, Medina Spirit was disqualified by the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission, allowing Geroux's mount, Mandaloon, to be declared the winner. Chicago has proven to be an important place for Geroux's personal life, too. It's where he met and married his wife. Today, Florent and Casey have 2 children, and in 2018, Geroux became a U.S. citizen.
Oh, that was extremely important. You know, I was here. My wife is from Chicago. Both of my kids are born here. So that was just the next step. So I'm proud of it and happy. So it's done. So now it's all good.
Lots to be proud of for Florent Geroux. I'm not sure how I feel about him already having won as many Breeders' Cup races as my old man, but whatever.
It helps when you have Brad Cox as your main client.
7 Breeders' Cup wins and Monomoy Girl, Gunrunner, some of the most memorable in recent memory.
Yeah, although I'll say that only 3 of them were Brad Cox. But Gunrunner, as we saw, that was the horse who kind of really put, I think, Florent on the map, but really into the mainstream. Everybody learned who he was after his success with Gunrunner. And what an amazing horse he has been. I mean, the start he's gotten off to as a sire, too. And I'll never forget, we were just talking about it, watching that piece, when he won the Whitney with was it Whitney or the
Whitney or Woodward?
Woodward.
Might have been the Woodward.
With the Woodward with the shoe in his tail.
How bizarre is this? The Kentucky Derby win by disqualification. 2 of the last 3 derbies have been won by French riders that did not cross the wire in front. Florent Geroux, Flavien Prat. It's just a bizarre coincidence, and and I've had this conversation with Prat, like how much they want to experience it, win a Kentucky Derby outright in that moment after the wire.
And same with the trainers. I mean, Brad Cox said, I just don't really know how to react to this because they want to have it in the moment. That's why we're in this game, Lafitte, to experience it in the moment. It's the fastest 2 minutes in sports, but it is the most exciting. Your heart is in your throat. And for when you win, in that moment, there's nothing better. And just to win it via a paper saying that the winner was DQ'd in, 20 minutes after on the racetrack with Flavien Prat, it's not the same.
No, nobody wants to win like that. As for this year, riding some very good 3-year-olds, Florent Geroux, Cyberknife, Arkansas Derby, Zozos, Louisiana Derby, Flavien Prat to ride Zandon in the Bluegrass Stakes. And when we come back, that colt who officially finished second in last year's Kentucky Derby, Hot Rod Charlie, he'll be ridden by Flavien Prat in the Dubai World Cup on Saturday, and Midnight Bourbon, 3rd in the Saudi Cup last month. $20 million race won by a zillion to one shot. Now he gets to tangle with Life is Good.
The breeding industry is governed by one principle. Performance determines success.
And Constitution has won!
Now, he's earning his stripes by siring stars.
Independence Hall wins the Hagyard Bayette.
Law Professor just in front, and Law Professor. American Revolution, fireworks in the stretch here in the Cigar Mile.
Constitution, a natural-born leader.
Welcome back to America's Day at the Races. Great to have you with us. As always, program brought to you in part by America's Best Racing. The love of the race. Visit AmericasBestRacing.net today. Gary Stevens at Oaklawn, Maggie Wolfendale, I'm Lafitte Pinkai, and that is a live look from Sam Houston Race Park. Post time for the fourth, Maggie, $5,000 restricted claiming sprint, 5.5 furlongs. They're at the gate.
This is Shifty Henry's race to lose. I mean, he's back on dirt after trying the turf first off the claim. He loves the 5.5 furlongs. He has the speed and luckily the outside post draw. If somebody else wants to go up is inside. He's much the horse to beat here. I really didn't have anything clever with this race, Lafitte.
Nothing clever?
No, yeah.
All right, then maybe you can, because, with horses in body language, you can explain, like, this is the perfect example of high head carriage. Watch Shifty Henry. This is high head carriage, and he's the one to beat. Nick Temmer with the call, post time, fourth race, Sam Houston.
He's a Ranger and Shifty Henry both loading in. One back, Top Brass. Top Brass loads in. Fourth race set to go, all set. And they're on their way. He's a Ranger, hopped at the start. Shifty Henry was out quickly on the outside. Top Brass has some speed. Golden Palace is going to stay within range and flip the coin. Jan at the rail advances on the inside. Just off those heels comes Cat's Second Silver, well in hand. Immediately to that one's outside Polo Art, and 4 lengths back to the trailer. He's a Ranger. As they go past the half-mile pole, Shifty Henry battling on the front end with Top Brass. The opening quarter, 22.84 seconds just off their flank. Polo Art tracks from third, under 3 furlongs to go. Cat Second Silver, flip the coin Jan. Golden Palace has lost some ground. He's a Ranger trying to stoke up a rally from the back of the pack. Shifty Henry is battling on the front end with Top Brass past the quarter pole. Polo Art trying to gain ground. Cat Second Silver looking to angle out, turning for home. The widest, He's a Ranger. Top of the stretch. Shifty Henry trying to stave off Top Brass. Top Brass coming on the outside. Cat Second Silver 2 lengths lengths behind. Shifty Henry digging in. Top Brass has grabbed a short lead. These two exchanging blows down the stretch. On the outside, Top Brass takes command, and Top Brass scores over Shifty Henry. Then came Cat's Second Silver. Golden Palace flipped the coin, Jan. Polo Art, and he's a Ranger.
A good horse race. In the end, Top Brass able to wear down Shifty Henry in the 4th at Sam Houston.
Carl Broberg continuing his winning ways, and this horse, I mean, finding a race that he hasn't necessarily had as of late, Lafitte. And Shifty Henry, you mentioned it. What a weird horse.
It's awkward.
I mean, I'm only seeing 20 of his last starts. I can't believe they've never put blinkers on this guy. Because he looks at his competition.
Yes.
And you could tell, is he just messing? Is he waiting on him?
He kept I thought he was kind of I thought he was going to repel him. He kept fighting him off, and then Top Brass finally wore him down.
I know. Well done. These two going around the racetrack, 1-2, ding-donging it out. At the end, the outside prevailed, and nobody else really able to make any noise.
Leading owner, End Zone Athletics, another win, Sam Houston. Second leading trainer, Carl Broberg. Top Brass in the 4th. Sam Houston, horses in the paddock for the feature at Oaklawn Park. $106,000 purse. Not bad for a Thursday afternoon. 3-year-old fillies. And there's the morning line favorite, Icy Stare Down, currently 6-5. The favorite in the feature at Oaklawn, that's next.
Grade 1 winner and track record setter Lee. Like their sire, his runners have excelled on both dirt and turf, including these standout performers.
Leading by 3, Gibberish and Dylan Davis.
Out of a Galileo mare, this dual surface star has sired juvenile stakes winners on both dirt and turf. Lee, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Who you betting on? How about an app created specifically for horse racing? Naira Bets. We specialize in thundering hooves, fist pumping, and boosting your bankroll with robust weekly promotions. And offer betting tips from actual horse racing experts. Bet all day and night, nationwide. Get the action and thrill of horse racing with Naira Bets.
Charlatan is back, and he turns it on with 1/8 of a mile to go. Express Train moves into second. Nashville dropping out of it, and then Collusion Illusion. What a spectacular return for Charlatan, who will romp in the run-happy Malibu Stakes by 4.5 emphatic lengths. Charlatan, ultra impressive.
It's a new day for a new king.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than America'sBestRacing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. America'sBestRacing.net is a sport for you. Live it, love it, bet it.
If you only heard the off-air conversation. Welcome back to the show. Don't forget you can earn a $200 sign-up bonus today when you join Naira Bet. Play all the action on the program and more while earning up to a $200 deposit match bonus. It's easy. New members just sign up with promo code STAKES200. Make your first deposit. Earn up to a $200 deposit match. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Join now, NairaBets.com to earn that $200 deposit match.
Well, Lafitte, if the feature angle is in play here, I mean,
Yes.
Icy Stare Down should be 1-9.
Not getting the 7-1 we did earlier with Lindsay Schultz,
No.
but still.
Yeah, 7-5 and dropping.
Florent Giroux to ride for Brad Cox. Brad Cox, strong combination here. Number 2, Come On Sweet Love, an Icy Stare Down.
And as, oh, well, sorry.
Hold that thought. Impulses, 41-1.
Looks incredibly overmatched here. Complete outlier in this field. We'll have to find a race about 30 points better than what she
Wow.
ever has before.
Big leap of improvements needed. Come on, Sweet Love. Overlay 5-1. Ricardo Santana.
She's faced some good ones in her last few, and her last start was the first one off of a layoff. Matarea, she's heading for the Grade 3 Beaumont at Keeneland.
Stanley Market, fresh off a maiden here mid-February.
I think she's been facing weaker, obviously, graduating from a non-2 for 30. But her last figure, it does make her a player.
Pipeline Girl, good luck to our friend and colleague, Tom Amos.
First start as a 3-year-old, first start with Lasix, a massive improvement. I think she ran the best race besides the winner, Matt Torea, in her last.
Second choice Pipeline Girl. Number 5, Benedict Canyon in the little red feather colors.
Steve Asmussen's up against it. Getting horses from Bob Baffert is tough to do, though the turn back does make sense here.
Parlance, leading rider David Cabrera.
Could be the speed of the speed. She battled around there with Lady Scarlet, but was more down towards the inside, and it was her first start off the layoff as a 3-year-old. She could have a step forward.
Learned a lot today about Florent Giroux. There he is. Icy stare down 6-5, 7 minutes to post.
Looked to be loaded, sitting behind that 4-horse pace stool. And when she came off the bridle with John Velasquez aboard, she really didn't have that much of an answer.
And that's the thing, that the strength of schedule and exiting a race that looks that much stronger based on the results of the Cicada here at Aqueduct.
Exactly. We'll see, though. I mean, the two coming from the fairgrounds, Pipeline Girl and Come On Sweet Love, that could be a key race, too. Matt Torea, as I was saying, she looks pretty promising. Although Come On Sweet Love, she was a bit disappointing. I think Pipeline Girl was the one that you wanted exiting that race at the fairgrounds.
Pipeline Girl for, as we mentioned, our friend and colleague Tom Amos. Out to Gary. Before this feature at Oaklawn Park, 4 minutes out. Gary, your thoughts on Pipeline Girl going in?
Well, she looks great. I mean, coming off that last race and the competition that she's been running against, the question is she going to handle this track? Listen, her owner, Jerry Caron, he's one of the characters in the game. He's been around for a long time. He's got horses in California. He's got them in New Orleans. He's got them all over the place. A big stable here at Oaklawn Park. Tom Amos texted me the other morning before entries, asked me if I was open in this spot. I had no idea who he was running. Guys like that, I don't ask him. I just say yes or no, I'm open. Well, it was Pipeline Girl. I think she's very live in this spot. If something happens to the favorite in here, if she doesn't fire for whatever reason, Icy Stare down the 7 filly. But just one of the great guys in the game. Tom's given us an opportunity. Giovanni Franco aboard. He's also put Tiago Pereira on a couple of horses. So he's excited. He thinks he's going to win every one of his races that he runs in. He's highly disappointed when they don't. But he just goes to the bar and has another drink. Just one of the boys, guys.
Coping mechanisms in thoroughbred racing. Is he easy to ride for? I mean, he's probably not listening, Gary, so you can be honest with us. Is Tom Amos easy to ride for?
You know, as a rider, I only had the opportunity to ride a few. For Tom Amos, he's very loyal with his riders. Maggie Moss, his biggest owner, he's always kind of handpicks his riders for them. But we see him on the set day in and day out at Saratoga when we work together. We know that he likes his horses forwardly placed. He doesn't like messing around, taking horses out of their game. So you can look for Giovanni to come away from there, get her in stride, and she is quick. There's some other speed in here. The 5-horse has got some good early speed, so there is other speed in here. And you know, Tom, you know what you're supposed to do when you ride for him. There's not a lot of questioning yourself where you're supposed to be. He likes his horses forwardly placed, and he reacts to it when they're not. If he thinks that somebody is taking too much hold of a horse, he's not the happiest guy in the world.
I was just asking, Maggie, because Tom Amos is like so difficult to work with on the set. I'm wondering, like, how hard is he to ride for? You know,
diva. Absolutely, just kidding.
Tom is the greatest.
As we were talking about, and Gary was talking about Giovanni, you know, making sure Pipeline Girl gets out of there. We just saw him going back and forth aboard her out on the racetrack, solo warm up without the pony. So he's given her an aggressive warm up, hinting at the fact that he's going to rely on this filly's early speed.
Pipeline Girl, good luck. Gary, of course, Giovanni Franco's agent, teaming up with Tom Amos. Pipeline Girl, even money, Icy Stare down. What are you looking for right from the start? In terms of race shape, where are we expecting speed? Who's in front when the field hits the far turn?
As far as Timeform US pace figures are concerned, Parlance she looks to be the fastest in here. And maybe, she's a big filly. Look at the size disparity with her and Lady Scarlet, who is a fairly average size, good size filly. She is a bit bigger than her. Sometimes those types, Lafitte, when coming back off a bit of a layoff, they just need the proverbial race to get race fit again. But frequently at Oaklawn, they are not afraid of the lead in here, and we see several horses going. You can be the fastest horse on paper, you're still going to have company up front. And like I said, I don't think Pipeline Girl, she's going to be that far off of it. Icy Stare Down isn't slow, and we'll see what they do with Benedict Canyon, who in her first 3 races sprinting was not that far off of the early pace. Granted, those were last summer as a 2-year-old.
What to look for right from the start of this 6-furlong dash? Not bad. $106,000 purse Thursday feature. And in case you're wondering why there's racing at Oaklawn today, it's a makeup day. 4 total days lost due to inclement weather. All are being made up. Last Thursday, today, and the next 2 Thursdays.
I think that's great for the horsemen because the horsemen there, I mean, they run their horses. And so to be able to, instead of just boosting the purses, of races, they're letting everybody have a fair shot of horses that they didn't get to run because of those inclement weather days. And the weather, hopefully, although it looks cold out there, Gary's put on another layer. You can always kind of gauge the weather by Gary's wardrobe. But hopefully the weather's heading for the better with spring officially starting. And 2, they can't train when it's bad weather, when it's freezing, when there's snow. So I think adding those extra days really benefit the horsemen and the owners. And
that's another subplot heading into the Arkansas Derby. If it's a truly fast track, will that be the first truly fast track they've run during this 3-year-old series? Smarty Jones, New Year's Day, muddy, sloppy. The Southwest Stakes, it was so cold, can't water the track, don't want it to freeze, and you wind up with a loose, cuppy surface, right? And then the Rebel, it was pouring. It listed as fast,
Lafitte,
but it was pouring.
Bad news.
But what?
Long-range forecast, storms.
Is it? That's like 9 days out, though.
This is true. It could change.
So we don't know. I mean, it was sloppy the very next race. It was pouring. So if we have a fast track, might be the truly first fast track in this 3-year-old series, the Arkansas Derby. Gary Stevens, of course, will be there. Maggie and I, the rental car is under Maggie's name. I don't know how I feel about that, and she's driving from Little Rock. I've seen you drive a big truck.
I got a big truck. We're good.
I've seen it. I don't know how comfortable I am with this. Hopefully a less bumpy ride for the jocks in this feature at Oaklawn. It is post time. Icy Stare Down, the favorite. Vic Stauffer standing by.
They're off. Stanley Market and Icy Stare Down with Parlance and a hard scent Benedict Canyon. Pipeline Girl in the mix, and 5 of them mix it up early. Then comes Impulsus, and the trailer is Come On, Sweet Love. Up the backstretch as, moving through at the rail, it's Stanley Market. Just outside of her, Pipeline Girl. Between horses, Benedict Canyon on the move, and outside of her goes Parlance. These 4 across the track. Icy Stare Down is 5th, but she's only about 2 lengths off the lead. Then it's 3 lengths further back to Come On, Sweet Love, and Impulsus. Around the far turn they run, and this battle up front continues with Benedict Canyon just ahead in front of stablemate Parlance. These 2 are now 1-2. Stanley Market still very much a part of this battle. A length to Icy Stare Down. She'll be 4 wide into the stretch, but certainly has a chance. Her stablemate, Come On Sweet Love's on the move as well. Parlance takes the lead at the top of the stretch. It is Parlance, now a 2-length lead on Stanley Market, Benedict Canyon, Icy Stare Down. Come On Sweet Love is 4 lengths behind Parlance, who's clear. It is Parlance, now 3 in front. Stanley Market, Icy Stare Down, and Come On Sweet Love, Parlance in front. Parlance won by 3. Stanley Market was 2nd. Come On Sweet Love 3rd. Icy Stare Down finished 4th.
For the governor, Brereton Jones's Parlance. For Steve Asmussen, David Cabrera, Parlance in the feature at Oaklawn, closing at 4-1.
Is it Parlance? Parlance?
Vic Stauffer called
Vic
it Parlance.
Being fancy out there, but she just looked like a horse that probably needed her last start. And 2, like I said, she's a big girl, and she was more toward, she was battling in between. She was more towards the inside. Today, David Cabrera seemed conscientious of, despite her breaking on top, keeping her out in the middle of the racetrack. A horse that might not be comfortable having horses down, around her outside. And she looked comfortable. She looked more than fit today, and she powers away from what looked to be a pretty talented field on paper to a convincing win.
Icy stare down and Florent Charroux.
Is that
what happened with the favorite?
Again, she looked perched to pounce, and she came up empty the last 1/8 of a mile. Lafitte, why? I don't know. But again, she looked as though she had horse when they came around the turn, but yet had nothing in the stretch.
No
and
answer.
The,
Little
the
dull.
feature stat letting us down.
And that did. 1 for 2. 500 will get you in the Hall of Fame, right? Parlance. David Cabrera, leading rider, teaming up with North America's all-time leading trainer, Steve Asmussen. Governor Jones, Parlance in the feature at Oaklawn. Results when we come back. You're watching America's Day at the Races.
It's 1,000 words fighting back, coming down to the finish. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, this is one stunning picture.
1,000 words just in front. 1,000 words wins the Robert B. Lewis.
Honoree P is full out now, second on the outside, and they're coming down to the line, and 1,000 words has done it.
Welcome back to America's Day at the Races. As always, brought to you in part by Run Happy. Champion sprinter, always race medication free, stands in legendary stall 1 at Claiborne Farm. Not saying Parlance would have beat Run Happy on this afternoon, but this is a quality sprinting 3-year-old filly and taking down the winner's share of this $106,000 purse.
And a daughter of McLean's Music. I mean, he's a sire that you would have to think that, at least when she was bred, or mommy and daddy met, I should say, the $50,000 stud fee would have to be climbing, because we see so many winners from this stallion, and obviously trained in his brief career by Steve Asmussen. He has always spoken highly of him as a racehorse and to his progeny.
The effort from Stanley Market completing the exact at 13
Yeah,
to 1.
huge effort. A horse that didn't break that quickly, but went up, contested that early lead from the inside, and this was a big step up. I guess we can believe that figure that she ran a second off the claim last time in that claiming non-2
Cabrera, Asmussen, 10-20. It all adds up to that will work. 9th and final, Maggie. $30,000 maiden claimer. I don't think a favorite has won from Oaklawn since we've been on the air.
Nope.
Does that change with Forsaken, who's 4-5? Wow, that price is going to change.
That is short on this kind of field, but I do think that he is probably the most likeliest winner here.
Forsaken, 9th and final coming up. Oaklawn, coming up Saturday. The $12 million Dubai World Cup. We'll have it for you on Fox Sports 2, presented by Run Happy. 26 Dubai World Cup, and so much more. Grade 1 racing, multi-million-dollar races. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern from Maidan Racecourse. What will Life is Good do this time? He is the heavy favorite going in. Top-ranked thoroughbred in North America, Maggie, coming off that incredible performance in the Pegasus World Cup. Life is Good, but it's a horse race. No such thing as a sure thing. Strong American contingent. And Hot Rod Charlie, who's been in Dubai for a while, prepping for this very moment.
Yeah, he won the Al Maktoum Challenge second division. And won it, with some aplomb too, with some resiliency. And that's what he likes to do. Hot Rod Charlie likes to get in the fight.
Yeah, he looks for a fight.
He really does. Son of Oxbow. And you have to respect the fact that he has a win over the local surface. I think that's a feather in his cap, that he's been training there, that he's now well acclimated. And he's a talented horse. And he's, the one question mark with Life is Good is the distance. Hot Rod Charlie has proven that he can certainly handle a mile and a quarter.
Almost beat Essential Quality a mile and a half, Hot Rod Charlie. How much does he have to improve in order to contend with the likes of Life? Is his best good enough to contend, or would Life is Good have to regress and just have a bad day?
Based on buyers, yes, Hot Rod Charlie would probably have to run his best, but it's in there. He ran a 111 in the PA Derby, and that is the top figure that Life is Good has run to. That's actually better. Top figure he's ever run was the Pegasus World Cup. The thing is that Life is Good ran that figure last time, newly turned 4-year-old. Did we see the best of Hot Rod Charlie last year? Who knows? Horses peak at different times.
He's going to need it. Hot Rod Charlie, a lot of money in thoroughbred racing. $12 million Dubai World Cup, $20 million Saudi Cup, Country Grammar, Midnight Bourbon. You mentioned the strong American contingent, but on that evening, blindsided by a 1,000,000-to-1 shot.
Yeah, who had the most taxing trip of any of these. The Emblem Road broke slow, was about 6 to 10 wide the entire way around there, and finished up on his wrong lead, and still was able to run by Midnight Bourbon and Country Grammar. Country Grammar definitely ran the best race of any of the Americans, and he was coming off of a extended layoff, a 9-month-plus layoff. Do I love him here? No. But do I also think that Midnight Bourbon has, I hate to say he has hang in him, because he's run fast enough races against the best horses in racing. He always shows up. That wasn't the case for his main rival in Mandaloun in the Saudi Cup. He's always there. Is he always a winner? No, it's been over a year since he won the LeCompte. His last
been a
win.
long time, and you're waiting. Is it a developing the knockout punch thing? It's not like his 5th start. There's coincidences, there's trends, and then you've established a pattern, and it feels like that's a pattern that's been established.
I feel like the worst thing for him is the fact that he is so talented, because he's probably a horse that has lacked some focus, mentally. I remember he was the horse at Kentucky Derby week that was running around loose.
That's
and
right.
Steve Asmussen and Scott Blasey have worked extensively with calming this horse down and keeping a lid on it. Maybe his best option that would be a gelding, but that's never going to happen.
No. I just think back to sounds like we're questioning fight and heart. You think back to the Travers, giving Essential Quality all he could handle.
Right.
In the stretch.
There's a
battling.
fight in there. It's just maybe he has really bad timing. I don't know. But also a horse that maybe does his best running and was taken out of it last time when he wasn't on the front end.
Can't wait for this one. We'll have it for you on FS2. Our coverage brought to you by Run Happy, the 26th running of the $12 million Dubai World Cup. All eyes on Life is Good. That's Saturday morning. Meantime, live racing continuing from Sam Houston, the 5th. When we come back, you're watching America's Day at the Races.
The sun shines bright on Caraconte. His first crops of racing age are showing brilliance on the racetrack with a high percentage of stakes winners. His versatility is evidenced by winners on all surfaces across the globe. And his offspring are lighting up the sales ring. With his biggest and best quality of books in the pipeline, the sun shines bright on this value sire. Caraconte, standing at Gainesway.
Meydan Racecourse Saturday. The best horses in the world face off in the $12 million Group 1 Dubai World Cup. Watch and play the Dubai World Cup Saturday, live on FS2, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
How does horse racing support New York's economy? It's responsible for 19,000 jobs and more than $3 billion in annual statewide economic impact. These good-paying jobs support working families across the state and sustain thousands of small businesses both on and off the track. Horse racing in New York means jobs and opportunities now and in the future. We are New York Horse Racing.
The Thoroughbred Owner Conference is back in person for the first time in 3 years and is being held in the new 1863 Club at Saratoga Racecourse, July 25th and 26th. Attendees enjoy 9 ownership topics with an impressive list of speakers, along with social events to meet other owners and network, an opening reception at the National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame, a conference dinner, and an afternoon of racing at Saratoga. It's the 2022 Thoroughbred Owner Conference, July 25th and 26th. See you in Saratoga.
Welcome back to America's Day at the Races. As always, brought to you in part by Claiborne Farm, 100 years, doing the usual, unusually well. It's gorgeous images and scenics from Claiborne Farm. And a live look from Sam Houston Race Park, approaching post time for the 5th race off the turf, Maggie, on the main track. Allowance Sprint 5 furlongs, field and updated odds pictured.
Yeah, and do just want to mention that Agent Peter Graves, who I was looking forward to seeing on the turf again, because his last race was very impressive. Listed as a first-time gelding, not the case. He was a gelding prior to his last start.
You know this family well.
I do.
Correct?
I do. My husband trained.
Look at that.
His mama, and that's me riding her, Miss Packenship. And Linda Juckett, owner and breeder of Agent Peter Graves, went over to Tattersall's, bought Miss Packenship out of the Breeze Up sale. Unfortunately, she got injured just after 2 races, but Linda always had in her mind that she primarily bought her to breed to because she wanted to introduce some of that European blood into her broodmare band. And I believe she has a First Samurai on the ground, or she's in foal to First Samurai, but she's going to Raging Bull, who I'm very excited about as a sire. As far as a physical, he's one of the best looking horses that
gorgeous
I've seen recently.
That was really cool. You are a slacker, by the way, like full-time mom. Get on horses in the morning.
That was before I had
this job.
babies. That was back in 2015.
Agent Peter Graves, he's fast. A lot of speed in this one on paper when we looked at it on grass, but again, on paper, if that transfers, you're going to expect an exciting start to the sprint.
Yeah, these are some quick horses, and usually turf sprint speed is faster than dirt sprint speed, so we'll see what we get here.
Post time for the 5th, live from Sam Houston. Here's Nick Tamero.
Agent Peter Graves steps in, bulky. Minister's Medal and Gradar's Dream will be the last 2 to load up. Gradar's Dream steps in. All set. And they're on their way. He's a Bomb broke quickest and goes out towards the lead. Minister's Medal has plenty of speed. So too Silence Doro on the hustle from the inside. Golden Ale just in behind. Agent Peter Graves moves up on the outside. Mover from between horses past the half-mile pole. Fresh One shuffled back 2 lengths. Agent McGee then a length and a half to Greatster out-sprinted. Gradar's Dream has one behind. The trailer is Balky. Around the far turn, the opening quarter, 22.28 seconds. It's a contested pace, and the leader is Silence Doro. Minister's Medal attached to that one on the outside. Agent Peter Graves is asked to move from third past the quarter pole. Mover angles out. He's a bomb up the rail farther back. Fresh One poised off the turn and into the stretch. Silence Doro trying to fend off Minister's Medal. It's Silence Doro prevailing so far. Here's Mover. Mover comes into the final furlong, making a big move down the center of the track. Silence Doro and Mover into the final 70 yards. Mover short lead. Silence Doro fighting him tooth and nail, but Mover will prevail. Mover gets it done. Then Silence Doro. Photo for third and fourth between He's a Bomb and Fresh One.
From off the pace, Mover in the 5th race here at Sam Houston. Very different approach than we saw in his most recent On Dirt.
Yeah, I mean, he was on the lead, but it was a slow pace. I mean, what did they go here to the half? Lafitte, I missed it. I was just watching the horses run. But last time out, he got 46 and 2 to the half. So definitely not going quite that as slow this time. But a step forward, I would believe, for this guy who has shown that he is dually talented on either surface.
Mover, 8-3. Leandro Concalves steering him home. Mover over Silence Doro. Have these results from Sam Houston. When we return, one left. You'll see the 6 from Sam Houston. And on Saturday, you'll see the Purple Martin at Oaklawn Park and some very good 3-year-old fillies. Wicked Halo, she was spectacular in the Adirondack this summer, just like her mother, just wicked. And Como Square in those short leaf familiar colors. Brad Cox, Ricardo Santana to ride. We'll look ahead to the Purple Martin Saturday's feature at Oaklawn.
And Shotgun Hottie, oh, it's a photo finish. Is early voting, who was on top right from the start, and early voting wins the Withers wire to wire. Godite, and he's going to win the 117th running of the hopeful
Echo Zulu wins the NetJets Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies by 5.5 lengths.
3 Chimneys, where dreams are born.
Welcome back to the show. You're watching America's Day at the Races. Fastest city in America. Let's see, Lower Manhattan. You can play from anywhere with Naira Bets, any track, anytime. Get started at nairabets.com or download the app. Fast City, we'll see some fast fillies in the Purple Martin. And that'll be part of the sequence in the cross-country picked 5. Tampa Bay, Aqueduct racing resuming tomorrow, and the aforementioned Purple Martin. Always fun, that cross-country Pick 5 sequence coming up this Saturday.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's kind of a rematch of the Dixie Belle Stakes. We won't see the winner, the Happy Soul, who's going to try to stretch things out and head to the Grade 1 Ashland at Keeneland for Wesley Ward, who won this race last year, as we were talking about with Kamari.
Yeah, she was sensational. Wicked Halo drawn inside. Go back to her, the biggest moment of her young career in the Adirondack at Saratoga. And what a story that was. Just like her mother did.
Yep.
Just Wicked winning the Grade 2 Adirondack.
And she blew the brake last time out off the long layoff of over 6 months, Lafitte, in that Dixie Belle. And she looked to be the fastest horse on paper. And she was completely taken out of her game, and I actually don't think she ran that badly in defeat despite being beaten 6 lengths. Now, she'll face Pretty Birdie again, who proved to be fastest of those 6 horses that day in the Dixie Belle, but she is distance challenged, to say the least, just not foreseeing things out. Now, Wicked Halo just finished in front of her. I think both of these horses could improve, but look for Wicked Halo. The problem with Wicked Halo on Saturday is that she's drawn the rail, and I just don't love that for her, for a horse that showed maybe she's not as quick as she once was.
It had been so long since she had raced on the shelf following the Adirondack. Her one start this year, as you mentioned, the break, drawing the rail, so some question marks there. Wicked Halo for trainer Steve Asmussen, and she'll have to deal with Como Square in the Purple Martin. And the good news for Como Square, she doesn't have to deal with Secret Oath as she did in her most recent.
Yeah, and in that most recent, the Martha Washington, she wanted to get fairly headstrong with Johnny Velasquez. And whenever horses do that, when they do that down the backside, I love them turning back in distance. It just makes sense for her. She's undefeated. Sprinting.
That's
this
her last
is
sprint.
Right, 2 back in that optional allowance. And she also gets to go back on Lasix for this Purple Martin, and I think that's good. I mean, she wins under wraps there by Martin Garcia. Ricardo Santana will be her 4th rider in 4 career starts. So.
Nobody would shock you. Just a field of 6, but competitive field of 6 for the Saturday feature at Oaklawn.
I mean, Hypersport, she had a bit of trouble in that Dixie Belle. I was really interested in her going into that race with all the speed that looked to be signed on for her to close. Very little Sense ran well as one of the outliers in that field. And then there's the undefeated Missy Needs a Cocktail. Amen,
Great
sister. But she is coming off of a long layup, but she is quick.
Purple Martin to wind down that cross-country Pick 5 on Saturday. 1 week from Saturday, Oaklawn's signature day of racing, fantasy, 3-year-old fillies, and the Arkansas Derby for the boys. 5 weeks out for the first time from the Kentucky Derby. 170 Derby points available, 100 to the winner. Secret Oath tackling the boys. Live coverage on Fox Sports 1. We'll be there. Gary Stevens, Maggie Wolfendale, and myself. I promise there will be more people there when we're there. It'll be a madhouse, and it's always a blast.
It is always fun. I'm just hoping my long-range forecast is incorrect.
Plenty of time.
Yeah.
Plenty of time. Hard-headed Archery here, kicking off the post parade.
I mean, a good name for an Arkansas bred. Was a little tough to handle getting out in that first race. Veteran rider John Court aboard today.
Forsaken, wow, even money 5 minutes out.
It's a short price to take on this kind of field, but last time in for a tag, and she's run a 73 and a 71 in her career. My problem with her, though, she seems to run those best races when fresh.
Malintent?
Malintent, a first-time starter, first horse to hit the racetrack for sire Tarpey Surprise.
Cold on the board, then warning label, long shot side by side.
Yeah, he's stepping up in class. Was wired last time. I rolled in a roll. Ran okay, but again, the step up might be too much.
Uncle OG, watch him before the race. He was kind of a brat.
He was, and I was kind of interested in him, but that horse looks really good on screen. Kilgore. Yeah. And turning back in distance, Top Row Rules came back, the horse that finished second, Bellamy's Roan, came back to win with a 79 buyer.
Allo Henry, second in his most recent.
You know, he's run races that make him a major player here. He said right off the pace, saved all the ground. He was just second best to Peace Dog, who by far ran the best race that day.
Jay's Little Man, 11 race maiden.
Yeah, when they get to that, Lafitte, I'm ready to give up, but has run fast enough to win this.
Here's a fresh face, first-time starter. Boston Wally, frozen on the board.
Yes. He would be baffling like his dam if he won here.
I'd be happy to see that guy win.
Yeah.
33 race maiden, slightly crafty. Is today the day at 31-1? We haven't seen not one favorite since we started the show from Oaklawn.
6-year-old looking for that elusive win. Chelsea Bailey will climb aboard.
As mentioned, 1 week from Saturday, $1.25 million Arkansas Derby. 3-year-olds taking center stage at Oaklawn's signature race. On-site coverage. The big story, Secret Oath, taking on the boys for Dwayne Lucas, the Arkansas Derby in 9 days from Oaklawn Park. Gary Stevens still with us. Gary, with 3 minutes to post until this ninth. You had a chance to speak with trainer John Ortiz. We were discussing Barber Road earlier and tactics that might change for the Arkansas Derby. What did he tell you?
Well, it was interesting, and it made a lot of sense after speaking with him. An update on our update on Barber Road. I asked him, I said, are you going to try and make this horse lay closer? He said, no. He said, we've slowed him down in the morning, his workouts by design, to get him more on his toes. He said he's going to have his final workout on Sunday morning. It's just going to be a routine workout. He said he's fit. But what he wants a quicker break. He wants him sharper so he breaks better. He doesn't necessarily want him closer to the pace. He said that he has talked to Ray Lou about it. He's not going to tie his hands, but he said he does want him to break sharper than he has in his previous 3 races. And I believe in that. I believe in any of these big races, whether it's the Kentucky Derby or Pacific Classic, anything, any big race. No matter if you're on a come-from-behind horse or a front runner, you need a break to break sharp because you can get shuffled back. And I understand completely what he's saying. So he's not necessarily changing the strategy or style of this horse's run. And he just said that he needs 2 lengths on that break. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's not if you get a good, sharp break, and that's what he's looking for, guys.
Gary, he's never been here before. He's talked about how much fun he's having with Barber Road. He's never started a horse in a Arkansas Derby. How excited did he seem to you as we get closer to the Arkansas Derby and for him with Barber Road?
He's very excited, and he said after the Southwest, he said, man, get so close and not get there. He said, I want this horse to win a big one. Well, he's made $400,000 already, and he's going to, I believe he's going to get a piece of it a week from Saturday as well. The horse is consistent. He trains well in the morning. Is he a second type horse that doesn't want to pass horses in the last 16th of a mile? I don't believe so. I believe the extra 16th of a mile is going to help him a lot. Whether he's good enough to beat a couple of the shippers that are coming in, that's a whole nother question. And the filly for Wayne Lucas, Secret Oath.
Secret Oath, Maggie, John Ortiz. I don't remember if it was the Southwest or the Rebel that was on his birthday. He's like, I don't like birthdays. I don't celebrate birthdays. It's just not my thing. He said, but that was a birthday present that I really wanted.
Yeah, and I'm so excited for Johnny. I've known him for quite a while, and just kind of I don't want to say a kid because he's not a kid. I think we're about the same age anymore. But still, a young shooter, and it's great this year. We have people with Derby dreams and legitimate contenders that we've never seen in this stage before, yet going up against guys that we've seen for a long time in, like, Dwayne Lucas. But you think about Brian Lynch, who I just have wanted to ask you, since you were down there for the Tampa Bay Derby, how long was Brian at the bar celebrating afterwards? No, I'm kidding. And how many hugs did he get? I mean, he took his time to celebrate with everyone.
He was enjoying every moment, and
so great
he's just you can sense that he's a guy that everybody was really rooting for, and you sense that from social media and the articles written. And that was his first Tampa Bay Derby starter. He's never started a horse in the Kentucky Derby either, and that he's really trying to, the sense I got from Brian Lynch with Classic Causeway is he's really trying to enjoy the moment, embrace the journey, as opposed to worrying about like what's next.
Yep. And that's how he should be, and that's how Brian's always been. I think my first time with Brian was when he came to New York. We had Clearly Now, who was a very talented sprinter, but he also had Coffee Click, who won our Grade 1 Just a Game on Belmont.
Yes.
Him,
at a big price.
Yeah, and he was just, I mean, you can't help but not root for Brian Lynch.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's great. And that cart talk with Jonathan Kinchin Talking about blowing the froth off a cold one.
Cold one, yeah.
I'm sure there was, plenty of that, and rightfully so. Incredible story. There was a $5 million offer on Classic Causeway after the Sam Davis that was turned down.
Wow. I mean, he's carrying on the lineage of Giants Causeway, whom, as I've said many times, his last crop, I believe there were only 3. And to have one like that, and just such a prolific sire himself. So one like that to carry on that bloodline, I bet they are going to be turning down some offers of quite a lot more than that.
82-year-old owner who had said at this point in life, it's
Why?
not about the money. Sometimes you hear athletes when they say, that's not about the money. Like, it's always about the money. In this case, it was true. He's like, at this point, it's not about the money.
No.
Classic Causeway. And Brad Ortiz, who, the way the schedule worked out, Mo Donegal was supposed to run in either the Fountain of Youth or the Tampa Bay Derby. He wound up with a fever. He winds up in the Wood Memorial running the exact same day as Classic Causeway. So for Ortiz, jockeys would rather wait until the last minute, not until the final preps, to make a difficult decision, because those are 2 legitimate Derby contenders at this point. Mo Donegal, Classic Causeway, Ortiz sticking with Classic Causeway for the Bluegrass Stakes.
And that's great. You know, you would think, Irad's had some major success winning a Breeders' Cup Classic with Todd Pletcher and consistently one of the major players in our game. But I think it's great that he sticks with Classic Causeway. And Brian Lynch, a horse that has done nothing wrong as a 3-year-old, where Mo Donegal, still feel there's been some bumps in the road with him.
The way he that always gets extra credit, the way a horse closes like that, specifically at speed favoring Gulfstream Park. Those fans there at Oaklawn Park and the jockey musical saddles. You mentioned We the People earlier. He's done nothing wrong either. Laurent Giroux, though, committed to Cyberknife for Brad Cox. Fabian Pratt takes over on We the People. I remember Ron McQuett. He was on a radio interview, and this was before the Southwest, I believe, and he said if I could train one 3-year-old in the backside, one 3-year-old, it would be We the People. I said, who? We the People. And then we saw what he did in his second career start and what's expected of him moving forward.
He's, other than the Baffert horses, whom we will see with different trainers now, he's been the most impressive. So
terrific.
And we look forward to seeing him in the Arkansas Derby as well.
That's a week from Saturday. It's post time for this 9th race at Oaklawn Park to close out the Thursday program. Arkansas bred $30,000 maiden claimer sprinting 6 furlongs Forsaken. The favorite at post time, one final time. Here's Vic Stauffer.
Boston Wally, Uncle OG. Last to load is Slightly Crafty. They're at the post. They're off. Slow start for Forsaken. He's last early. Allo Henry and Jay's Little Man with Hard-Hearted Archie and Kilgore. These 3. Now Forsaken is absolutely running off, and he's going to get into a tough spot here. Forsaken headstrong and up into 5th now. Then comes to the outside, and Uncle OG. Further out is Uncle Wally, and down at the rail goes Warning Label. Then 3 back to Boston Wally, 3 more to Slightly Crafty, and the trailer is Malin 10. Around the far turn with Hard-Hearted Archie just in front from Kilgore in 2nd. Allo Henry is 3 deep in 3rd. Jay's Little Man just outside. Here's Jay's Little Man up into a joint 2nd, and he's on the move. Forsaken is caught behind horses. He's had a tough go of it. He'll have to get room at the top of the stretch. Warning Label is next. Top of the stretch, here's Jay's Little Man to claim the front. Jay's Little Man now a length in front of Kilgore in 2nd. Then comes Allo Henry, followed by Forsaken, who is now in the clear, and here he comes. It is Jay's Little Man, but Forsaken is alongside, and Forsaken has confronted Jay's Little Man. Forsaken outside, Jay's Little Man inside. Let there be no doubt who is best. Forsaken. Forsaken beat Alo Henry, who just got up in the final stride to be second. Jay's little man was third, and Kilgore finished fourth.
Doing his best Ethereal Road impersonation. Forsaken Maggie, it looked like it was over at the start.
He was just slow into stride. He wanted to kind of run for the gap, it looked like, and then he started running off. Look at Francisco Arrieta here. I mean, he's got a 6-5 hole behind his ears, feet in the dashboard, and just crying out for running room. And usually when horses, especially at this level, do that, they've got nothing left in the tank. But that's how much better Forsaken was than the rest of his competition today.
That's why he was so heavily bet.
Yep.
Forsaken, Francisco Arrieta chasing David Cabrera in the standings, late run. Hello, Henry. But yeah, Forsaken, that bet, it's not just the bad start, because normally you want to see maybe a jockey, you know, okay, just wrap up and try to make one run late, like Ethereal Road.
Right.
When they rush up like that, feet in the dash, few and far between that like, works and results in a win in thoroughbred racing.
And, you know, that slow, kind of poor, awkward start may have been due to the fact that they had taken blinkers off last time and put them back on. And, boy, did he have a full cut blinker on. So a lot of times you will see horses just not break that sharply and then kind of wonder about, because they can't see where they're going.
Work today. Meantime, when we come back, more on the Philly Secret Oath. Saw D. Wayne Lucas there. 84. He won the Arkansas Derby with a filly. He'll try to do so once again in 9 days.
Start spreading the news. If you're looking to win in New York, then breed in New York. To War Dancer, the millionaire son of Warfront, and New York's #1 sire of 3-year-olds. Breed to a proven performer, the #1 second crop sire at the Saratoga meet with multiple winners at Belmont and Aqueduct. Earn double the New York Breeders' Awards and participate in the New York Stallion Series with $2 million in purses. War Dancer, proud to stand in New York. Visit wardancerstud.com.
This season at Oaklawn, we've got more of everything. More of the top thoroughbreds in the world. More days of live racing. And the largest purses in our history. All at a completely reimagined Oaklawn. Come be a part of this historic season at Arkansas's only casino resort.
Run Happy, the #1 second crop sire by graded stakes winners and earnings. Run Happy is represented by Smile Happy, the Kentucky Derby individual future pool favorite. A leading dirt sire and now with an exciting Kentucky Derby hopeful. Call Bernie Sams now and book your mare to Eclipse Champion Run Happy right now. Run Happy standing in stall 1 at Claiborne Farm.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. Use promo code TRYRTN for a 5-day free trial.
Welcome back to America's Day at the Races, as always. Brought to you in part by America's Best Racing. For the love of the race, visit americasbestracing.net today. Fun makeup day of racing at Oaklawn Park. Forsaken, finally a favorite, comes through on our broadcast.
And a much the best favorite after kind of blowing the brake, running up on heels, and was just crying out for a seam. Francisco Arrieta found it at about the 3/16 pole. And hello, Henry and Jay's little man were no match in the end.
Running the Dream Stables. Congrats to the winning owner. Chris Hartman, winning trainer. Having a solid mate. And that combination has been really good. Arrieta and Hartman. Another victory. Fastest Arkansas Derby bred. Arkansas bred in this race graduates in that 9th race, Oaklawn Park. So, in case they missed it, because we've discussed it for most of the show, the Arkansas Derby a week from Saturday, and Secret Oath, the filly, taking on the boys, and the big story that, the intrigue whenever you have the girls taking on the boys in thoroughbred racing, and Wayne Lucas, how long he's been doing it at the highest level and what this opportunity means. And on the strength of this effort in the Honeybee Secret Oath, he was a little undecisive after the race was Lucas. He said, well, think about it. Decision made. He's running against the boys in the Arkansas Derby.
I mean, he only had to wait a couple races to see the outcome of the Rebel, Lafitte. And yes, I like Unoho as a New York bred, but he was an upset winner. And the boys divisions out there have just not been that strong, and she has been dominant over her own sex. Why not? She'll get a weight break too here against the boys, and she's running for that huge purse. And we'll see. It sounds like they still kind of want to go Oaks.
Right.
But that, why not take on the boys in the Arkansas Derby in what might, as I said, might not be ultimately that strong of a field.
Just a few days ago, that's what Wayne Lucas had said. The plan is still the Oaks, but if she does that to the boys in the Arkansas Derby,
Right.
that plan might be altered. Lucas, who won a Derby with a filly, winning colors, Gary Stevens. He ran Serena's Song. He ran Althea, Life's Magic fillies in the '84 Derby. Those are the boys that she will have to face. And we the people, undefeated in 2 starts, all the upside in the world. He's the one that might be keeping Wayne Lucas up at night.
Yes. For me, he is by far the strongest in there. I mean, Chasing Time, he was a little bit disappointing in the Rebel. And really, the horse that you might want out of that Rebel is for Wayne Lucas in Ethereal Road, and he's waiting for the Bluegrass, I believe. So,
Yes.
like I said, it's her and We the People. I think it's a strong matchup between those two.
100-point Derby preps, the semifinals, so to speak. On Saturday, UAE Derby Overseas, Louisiana Derby, epicenter coming off that big win in the Risen Star. Florida Derby, Arkansas Derby. Again, Arkansas Derby used to be 3 weeks out, now 5 weeks out. And then, of course, the Wood, Bluegrass, Santa Anita Derby, all roads converging at Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky for the 148th running of the Kentucky Derby. Have you bought your Belmont tickets yet, Maggie?
Luckily, I don't have to.
Tickets to the 2022 Belmont Stakes are now on sale. A 3-day Belmont Stakes Racing Festival is June 9th to the 11th and jam-packed with exciting featuring some of the best racing in the world, headlined by the Test of the Champion. On Saturday, June 11th, get your tickets today at belmontstakes.com. Luis Saez, Brad Cox celebrating the Belmont Stakes last year after everything that went on in the Triple Crown. That was the Belmont Stakes I think we needed, the fans needed, the sport needed, and what a thrilling stretch duel. Hot Rod Charlie, Dubai World Cup bound, and Essential Quality, the champ, having his mettle tested and proving the heart of a champion.
Yeah. And he is, both years that he ran, he was a champion. An Eclipse Award winner as a 2- and 3-year-old. Now retired to stallion duties. Hot Rod Charlie, though, still laying it down on the racetrack. And boy, I mean, I had nothing against Essential Quality, but I felt so badly for Hot Rod Charlie because he ran a winning race. And I liked him going into that Belmont, but it was just such a kind of a magical day, as you said, just the light at the end of the tunnel for what had been a very rocky Triple Crown series.
5 weeks, sure. Horses that go that fast in the Belmont are not there at the finish. Hot Rod Charlie was. Essential Quality, just too classy in the end. Hot Rod Charlie in the Dubai World Cup. Life is Good, live coverage on Fox Sports 2 Saturday morning. 6-race Sam Houston approaching the gate off the turf on the, this one was scheduled for the main track. $5,000 claimers here. Maggie, non-winners 3 lifetime, 9-5 favorite number 6 in the form of He's Pretty Lucky.
He's fine. He can definitely win. Was beaten by a repeat winner and 3-time Charmer last time out, who was on the front end. This guy broke a step slow, sat last behind that gate to wire winner, though 3-time Charmer. Well, he did drop in class to the $5,000 level to get the win. I was a little interested in a horse that is taking some money. 15-1 on the line, 7-2. Toe tapping Luke, as last time out just facing a bit better, but 2 back January 8th, in which he finished ahead of several of the runners in here. Mau, the winner of that race, coming back and winning a 25 claimer with a 71 buyer. He saved ground right behind the leaders. He tried to go inside. He was never quite comfortable. He got squeezed back turning for home and then re-rallied to get a well-beaten second. But I just think Mau was so much better than that field. Now he's in against these horses again. We'll see if he does prove superior.
Toe Tappin' Luke by a classic winner, Preakness winner, Oxbow, trained by D. Wayne Lucas. It all comes
And the
full
sire
circle.
of Hot Rod Charlie
That's
we were
right.
just talking about. Yeah.
Toe Tappin' Luke at 7-2 from that 15-1 morning line. He's pretty lucky. The favorite towards the outside.
Probably D-Town Baby's the other one you want
All right.
here.
See how it all unfolds. Nick Tamero standing by with the call. Post-time race 6, Sam Houston Race Park.
Step up. He's in, all set. And they're on their way. The favorite, He's Pretty Lucky, broke slowly and was pinched back at the start. Toe Tappin' Luke has speed and goes right out to the early lead on the inside. Max Pandowdy from that outside draw advances. Battleship Bevo now shifts out going into the turn. That put Papa Justice in tight. Hunk of a Hit hugs the rail around the first turn. Shown Hard works over from that outside post to a cozy spot. He's Pretty Lucky, broke poorly and is going for an early run wide on the course. Farther back, D-Town Baby. Papa Justice, after that early traffic, has one behind. Tappet City trails the field. 25.1. Toe Tappin' Luke has stacked them all up with a slow pace. He's in front by a half a length from Max Pandowdy. Shown Hard is 3 wide. He's Pretty Lucky has tugged up to 4 wide. Hunk of a Hit just in behind from 5th. Battleship Bevo is running in 6th. D-Town Baby is 7th with 2 behind. Papa Justice, who is now passed on the outside by Tappet City. 49.9 for the opening half mile. Advantage Toe Tappin' Luke, who's trying to step out around the far turn. Toe Tappin' Luke carries the lead of 1 length past the 3/8 pole. He's Pretty Lucky, advancing on the outside to challenge the pace setter. Max Pandowdy has lost some ground. Hunk of a Hit has had a great trip, shown hard on the outside. D-Town Baby trying to stoke up a rally. Battleship Bevo taking the inside route past the quarter pole. It's a 2-horse race. Toe Tappin' Luke turns for home in front by a length. He has turned back. He's Pretty Lucky and begins to pull clear coming to the furlong grounds. Hunk of a Hit farther back. Toe Tappin' Luke in front now by 3. He's Pretty Lucky battling on. D-Town Baby coming on the outside with a late bid, as well as Hunk of a Hit. Toe Tappin' Luke and Jansen Melanson coast to coast. He's Pretty Lucky was second, then D-Town Baby, Hunk of a Hit, Battleship Bevo, Max Pandowdy, Shown Hard, Tappet City, and Papa Justice.
Way to close the show with a winner, Maggie. Toe Tappin' Luke.
I mean, if only 15-1. Not.
Win's a win.
Jansen Melanson, great kind of win getting this horse on the front end from the start.
Toe Tappin' Luke. That's going to wrap things up for us on America's Day at the Races. Thanks so much for joining us. For Gary Stevens, Maggie Wolfendale, I'm Lafitte Pinkai. Fun day of thoroughbred racing at Oaklawn, where that filly, Parlance, in the $106,000 sprint, the feature today, winning by absolute daylight, onward and upward for her. Of course, on Saturday, there's $12 million on the line, and he is a top-ranked thoroughbred in North America. Life is good. The one to beat in the Dubai World Cup. Hot Rod Charlie will do his best to try and keep up. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone.